Hey, it's me, Melody. Welcome to my stream. Good morning. Um, I just woke up and nobody was on, so I decided to go live. So, hi, Jada Conqueror. What is on everybody's mind this morning? I'm bored, so yeah, this is gonna be short. I just want to see what everybody is doing. Hold on 1 minute. Sorry if my voice sounds a little shaky. Like I said, I just woke up, brushed my teeth, and laid back down. So, yeah. Hey, Kit Clouds. Good morning, R&B. What are you talking about? You can you can go live with me in real life. Awesome. You're funny. Good morning, D-Rock then. Yeah, so I literally have nothing to talk about. Just was bored. Hey, Aqua Dragon 88. Good morning, King Neef. So give me a topic. Give me something to talk about. I should have been more prepared. Melody, peace, Melody. That breakfast thirst trap avatar look nice. Thank you. No, it's not a thirst trap. I was just sitting in my friend's pickup truck, nothing to do. So I was like, let me take a selfie. And this is what I got. Yo, we got 12 people in here already. Yeah, somebody come up and talk to me, cause let me post the link, cause literally I have nothing. So why don't you guys come up and give me something to talk about? Talk about the gender war and relationships between men and women. Good idea, even though we talk about that all the time in this space. But that is a good idea. Why don't you come up and start the conversation? Moses says, I have a topic. How come women can't grill up a proper grilled cheese sandwich? All right, well, my grilled cheese sandwiches are really good because what I do is I use a lot of butter, right? And I let each side get just a little bit golden, let the cheese melt, and then I'll grill it again and more butter. So it's literally like really, really buttery and it's really good. And I put 2 slices of cheese. So yeah, it's really, really good. So hit that StreamYard link and come up and talk to me. Hey K497 says where are you listening to country music in a pickup truck? LOL. No, he does work in his truck. He just has his own like thing. He's an entrepreneur. He goes around. You know, he has his like, what do you call that? Rake, shovel, everything in the trunk, and he just does work. That's why I'm sitting in it. I was bored. I don't know where GC is. He's probably still asleep. It's early on the West Coast. What Bill Gates thing? Come up. What Bill Gates thing? Hit that link. I do not sound like Michelle. Knock it off. I sound nothing like Michelle. And it's morning time, so my voice is a little raspy. So that's probably why you're saying that. But I don't think I sound like her. Good morning, Terrence Barnes. Good morning, Chris G. Fun fact, you should never over butter a grilled cheese sandwich. Appreciate you. Giving me peace of mind. No, I think a lot of butter makes it more it makes it more tasty. I like butter. So can beta bucks out for the system. Come up and talk about it. Sister George, hey, come up. Give me a topic. Hey, Mega Dreads. Okay, you guys are like not giving me any topics. Hold on. Hit that StreamYards link and come talk to me. Peace, Moon. Bill Gates divorced his allegedly wife after 27 years. Does that mean that he's allowed to diddle as long as it's not on American soil? What does that mean? You have to come up and tell me what that means. I don't understand. Guys, give me a good topic. Hey, Bronzeberg. Good morning with the fresh thirst trap. It is not a thirst trap. I have on shorts and a t-shirt. How's that a thirst trap? Hey, the Gold Eagle 99. Just to talk more about simping. Thank you. Hi, Sister George. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm a little sad.
Why? What happened?
I don't know why GC keeps coming for me.
I missed it. You got to tell me what happened.
So we did a show about hair yesterday on Art Newstall's panel, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like guys will ask for why is a certain thing a certain way? Like why do black women keep wearing weaves if they know black men don't like them, right?
Right.
And you can explain like the psychological issues behind it. You can explain the self-esteem issues behind it. And for whatever reason, they'll still go back to blame. Hold on a second.
Okay. While I'm waiting for Sister George, I'm going to read some of these comments. Hey, Wadner. I think the Bill Gates divorce is going to be a topic for a while. Okay, Jada Conqueror. So after I speak with Sister George, why don't you come up and like let me know what's going on with that? Because I have no idea.
Okay, I'm gonna drop down and come right back up, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, babe. So what topic do you have, the Gold Eagle 99? Let's talk about do's and don'ts and simp character. Okay, we can definitely talk about that. We can talk about that after Sister George talks about what she want to talk about. Hold on, she's here.
Okay, can you hear
Okay,
me?
babe. Yes, I hear you well.
Okay, great. So, we're talking about the hair thing, and it's like so you can explain the psychological issues, you can explain what happens when kids are younger, um, and then you can tell men, okay, if you have a standard and that's your standard, then you shouldn't go below your standard. Otherwise, it reinforces the behavior, whether it's negative or positive. And
Mm-hmm.
he kept saying, so you're blaming the men for sleeping with women with weave. And it's like,
Mm.
I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying if you have a standard and you go beyond your standard, then that is, some of that is a bit of reinforcement. But I'm saying that when women wear weave and they wear weave constantly, that is a psychological issue. And I'm like, why does this man keep coming for me when I haven't done anything to him? He's
Oh,
done so many breakdowns of our videos. We've never flagged him. We've never tried to go at him or anything. And it's like a constant, I'm gonna get these feminists. And it's like, I don't understand. I really don't. And I'm like, may not like a topic or something that we have, but just go away. Like, leave us alone. We're not bothering you.
oh wow, that's crazy. I wasn't there for that, but you're right. If you don't like something, then leave it alone. I agree with you 100%. But you
And
feel
it seems like it's like it kind of seems like it's an attack on character, or it's trying to do something to demean my character or something. And it's like, if you have anything outside of the woman was wrong, like she has to be wrong in every situation, fine, that's what you do, that's cool. And I can say where women are wrong at. And I do think the weave is a huge problem within our community, because the majority of the women our women wear it in spite of our men liking it. So I do think that's a problem. But if you don't like something and you have complete control over that, then if you continue to have sex with them and they seek your sex and they look for your sex as validation, what am I supposed to do? I don't control penises. I can't tell a guy who to have sex with and who not. If you choosing to have sex with women with weave, that's on you. She's
I,
gonna do that.
Yeah,
oh,
peace.
hi, Bronzeberg.
This
I
was
was
a
like, who is that
surprise.
chick?
Got him. No, what's going on with y'all? Like, I was surprised you did the stream, and shout outs to you with the fresh thirst trap on, boy. Feel me?
Oh,
Nah, man. I see
well,
you,
I don't think
Melody.
it's a thirst trap. It's just a normal
She did
self.
it for the gram and stream yard. You dig?
Right. No,
Right.
but let me ask you a question on Bronzeberg. Were you there for this conversation last night?
Hell yeah, that shit was funny as hell.
So, what's your take? So, all right. I wish DC was here too, but maybe he'll see this. Do
I
you feel like,
don't. I'm sorry.
yeah. Well, do you feel like GC was wrong when he came at Sister George?
Ah, see, uh, I'm
You
sorry.
know we
Like,
can't
I ain't
speak
gonna lie.
for
I'm not gonna
brotherhood,
lie.
girl.
Listen. I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of in and out, so I was hearing what um GC was saying. I was mainly hearing the argument between Sister George and Ed, and then that dude AL Evans, and then AL Evans went at Jess. So, and then Complex said his little thing, but my thing about it is this: like, to go with the conversation about weaves, not to cape for her, but I was like, she makes a good point though. Like Jess was making a good point, and then what's his name? Roger Report was making a good point. So it was like the 2 points, it's like you can go either way. That's what I was trying to say was last night. Last night, what I was trying to say was when it comes to the weave thing, yes, a majority of us brothers don't like it, right? But at the same time, you can't give those women a reason to argue and rebuttal your points if you're giving them attention. So if you're the one that's sitting up there smashing a shorty with the weave, but you just like, oh, I don't like girls with weaves though, then they have more of an argument to say, but y'all still sitting up there giving us attention. So how are y'all talking about y'all don't like to deal with us because we got weaves, but y'all still giving us attention by having sex with us? You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I understood it. And my thing about it is like me naturally, me personally saying, even though I don't really want to talk about myself, I don't really like the weaves, but that's just at the same time, I'm not going to ignore in certain cases if the woman is attractive, I'm gonna be on it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the argument I was making yesterday. I was like, brothers be capping. Certain brothers be capping. Brothers will say, oh, I don't like dealing with the weeds, this, that, and third. I said, but if she had a pretty face and she had the body like, damn, would you go after it? Yes, you would. Because we're visual creatures. So we'll ignore the weave in order to deal with the face and the body. And that's what it is. But I just didn't understand certain brothers going back to back to back and sitting up there talking about, oh, those are feminist talking points and all that other shit. And especially,
I didn't get it. I really didn't. And it's like, when people ask you a question as to why you think a certain thing happens, and they're asking you why, when you start to explain why, oh, she's just coming up with excuses. She's a feminist. And it's like, but you just asked me, why do I think something? If I give you a perspective on how I see it or what I've seen within the community myself, and as a person who used to wear a lot of weave, I think I would have more of an insight than you would, as a man, because as a man, hopefully none of them have ever worn weave. But and I'm like, it was a psychological thing with me at some point. Because I said it made me feel some type of way. Like when I got my first weave, that first $500 weave, girl, I cried.
Hmm.
I thought I was so fly.
Right.
And, I was sitting there telling him, like I had talked about this on Fantastic's panel. And so I'm like, well, like, damn, like I would know. And it's feminist. It's feminist. Why don't you just change for the man? And to be honest, since my man doesn't like a lot of weave, I don't wear a lot of it. Matter of fact, I try not to wear weave around him. Um, it's been maybe about outside of braids. I would say it's been almost a year since I've actually worn a weave or even clip-ins around curling.
oh,
So, it's like, Jesus Christ, like, what's the problem?
I
Right.
was
I
gonna
love
ask you
my
that,
clip-ins.
Sister George. I was gonna ask you about that. So, what is Curlin's view about like when he like first met you? Like, did he establish like what is his viewpoint on what he thinks about hairstyles, especially when he was dealing with you when y'all was in a courtship?
And when we were in a courtship and he saw my pictures, I wear my real hair in most of my pictures, most of them, not all of them, but most.
Hmm.
And he said what he liked about me was that I wore my real hair. Now when we initially met, I had some faux locks in my hair, but they kind of fit me too. And he said he likes that, but he prefers real hair overall. And then like in the duration of our relationship, our anniversary's coming up. We'll be like 2 years in June. So within our relationship, I would wear a weave, and I would say I've probably had about 4 weaves, maybe 4 weaves. Within our relationship, I get my hair done a lot though. And he is never excited when I have a weave, so it's not really a reinforcement for me because he's just like, "Oh, what's up?" He's not as excited like when he sees my real hair out. And so now he's not a jerk about it, but I know that it's not his favorite. And so I try to do more of what he likes versus what he doesn't like, you know.
Well, can
But
I say
every now
one
and
thing
then,
real
huh?
quick? You have, for the record, I've seen Sister George's hair. She has beautiful, healthy, natural hair. So I just wanted to let everybody know that. Beautiful and
Yeah.
healthy. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So, I generally do what he wants because I know that he doesn't like a lot of it. And so outside of braids, like I said, it's been almost a year since I've had my last weave. And everything's been cool. Like my hair is growing and it's great. But yeah, he doesn't like it a lot. So I try not to do it a lot.
Yeah, it seems like no men really like it. My
Nope.
ex, yeah, because my ex hated it. He's like, and I didn't even wear full weaves. I wore clip-ins for the day, and I took them out. So I don't like sew-ins. I don't like glue-ins. But he was like, "Why are you wearing those? They're the same length as your real hair." And I'm like, "Well, it makes it fuller, or maybe I want some blonde highlights." But men don't like that at all. It's like, why is that, Bronzeberg? Why do you guys hate it so much?
Because especially when it comes to so-called black women, the problem is that the fact of the matter, we know it's not y'all hair, it's not y'all texture. So it's like it gets annoying because the argument becomes, oh, but if we have our 4C and 4B and this, that, and third, I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I like look when y'all break down like the hair textures like 3C, 3B, I'm looking at y'all like this is trigonometry. Like, I ain't never really listen, if it's nappy, it's nappy. I ain't got a problem with the naps. So
But
it's like brothers.
not all black women have nappy hair. I don't.
Right. But you know that argument usually comes up though. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you know how it is. Like I understand, Melody, you're a black woman, right? But at the same
Hmm.
time, that argument does come up. So it's like a lot of things. It's like that conversation to be first, and then it trickle down into something else. First, it'll be about the weaves and the hair. Then it's about colorism. Then from colorism, it's like, oh, biracials and mixed and this, that, and third. It's like it starts off with that, and then it goes into something else. But getting back to my point about that, in my experience, I just never liked it. I never liked the way it was styled. I never liked the way it looked. I didn't like the color of it because women from where I'm from, you know what I'm saying, in New York, you like dark skin and you got a blonde weave. Like, shorty, like what you doing? And the number one thing I do not like, this is for the record, this is just Bronzeberry talking. I hate lace fronts. Like,
I think we
I
all do.
hate,
I'm not even
hate,
allowed. I was never even when I get a weave, I'm not allowed to get a lace front,
yo, like
ever.
it's literally like an
Horrible.
installed hairline, and then it's just like the like the hair hat sitting on top. I cannot stand lace fronts. Everybody in my family know I can't stand lace fronts.
Because you
And you
can see
know,
the glue. You can,
you
oh
can
my
see the
God, it's
glue, you can
awful.
see the glue, you could just see it. And you, like I said before, the weaves, you could just tell it's not their hair. So I prefer to deal with a woman that's like, and you don't understand in in a man's psyche, like we want to touch your hair. You understand what I'm saying? That could be a love language. We want to touch, we want to be able to say, hey, look, I really like my shorty's hair. Look, it's kinky or it's nice and this, that, and third. Like, you know, y'all complain like it's sometimes hard to take care of, or it is hard to take care of. I get that. But when it's nicely done, like, and we put our hands in that shit, it's like,
Mhm.
damn, yo, like it feels good. So you know, that's just my opinion on it. It's just like if you ask us, like, because I know women are into beards nowadays. Like that's naturally ours. Put your hand in my beard. Like you understand what I mean? Like it's to the lines of that. You know what I mean? Like
No, I
that's
definitely understand. So if it's the woman's texture, let's say I had an afro and I wanted to put afro clips in my hair, is that a difference?
see, Melody, you starting too much shit this morning. All right,
I
you,
just
Sister
want to know.
George, and Jessica X. I can't stand y'all sometimes, yo.
Oh, that's messed up.
I can't stand y'all. So I mean, if she was to put Afro clips, nah, Sister George, because you be pissing people off. But I was gonna say, and to answer your question, I don't know, because sometimes I feel like when women get certain hairstyles, it's kind of like a cop out. You understand? Like it's like, okay, you can go ahead and put the Afro clips in, but it's just like if you just have the Afro the way that it is, I don't have a problem with it. But it's like, what is the reason why you need the Afro clips? And then you'll say maybe because you want to make it fuller. And I'm just like, okay, but is that going to be an ongoing thing? You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
yeah, you know what I mean? Because certain people, you know, certain women are just, you know, wear the hairstyles over and over and over again. And if it's doing damage to your hair, not necessarily the Afro clippings, it's just like, yo, I'm trying to look out for you, you know? So I don't know. Certain hairstyles I feel is a cop out.
Okay, so what about braids? How do you feel about braids?
See, I love braids. I love braids. I mean, when women like women in my family get braids, or just girls that I dealt with got braids, I don't even think I had a problem with it. Now, that's the funny thing about it, because I was thinking about, you'll buy those braids from certain places. So it's like you'll get the braids just like you'll get the weaves from those beauty supply stores. But it's like a gray screen for us brothers if we see y'all with the braids. And I don't know what it is. Psychologically, I don't mind braids. I don't
I
know.
think it's because it matches our texture, and that's something that
Yeah.
is used to being seen within our community.
Right.
We always wore braids even from when we were little girls growing up. Um, and it's a thing that's really a bit exclusive to our community. Now, white girls will get braids, but you know, you get it. They're probably like white girls trying to be black, but
Right. Oh,
um
black women hate that when white girls get braids. Why is that?
Cultural appropriation.
Yeah, but it's like,
I'm
see,
not gonna say I hate it. It just looks weird to me, but
They do
I'm
look weird.
sure me walking around with doll hair
right.
probably looks weird to them
I
as
was gonna
well.
say that. Like,
It's a
if,
trade-off.
yeah, like
Yeah.
we having blonde hair and red hair, long. That's not our natural hair, so we can't get mad at them. You had a good point.
Yeah. So I think that's probably one of the bigger issues is that she's walking around with doll hair, and then the white girl's walking around with ethnic hair, and you kind of looking. And to be honest, like I appreciate like regular white girls, but the
Hmm.
white girls that try to like fit in with black culture is a weird thing to me. I haven't really came to grips with them yet. So I don't know,
I
it's just
did.
Oh,
interesting.
we got a lot of them over here in
I
Jersey.
mean, what you got like Wo Vicky, that chick Bad Barbie, for example. Yeah,
Hmm.
plus in real life, yeah, their whole style. Look, and it's like certain white girls I remember, like they try to appeal too hard, and it's just like when they try that aesthetic of trying to be like a black woman, it's like it's a turn off because you don't need to do all that.
And
You know what
then
I
the
mean?
code switch that they do is amazing. Like she talking extra hood, like yeah, nigga, and some of them be calling guys niggas and stuff too, and that's
I
like
hate that.
whoa. And then they go like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know that. I was thinking about going down over here, and oh my gosh, and I'm so cute.
Yeah, it's really cringe. Like, I can't stand when they do that.
it's
But
it's
imagine
corny.
how they feel about us when they see us with the weaves. Like, now you know that's not her hair color, or you know that's not her eye color when we have contacts. They probably feel the same way.
Well,
But
yeah,
I don't
they
think that
will.
we wear white
But
girls' hair now. Hispanic women would have the real reason to be looking crazy.
Right.
Cause
And Asian women too.
yeah, yeah,
Asian
yeah.
girls with cornrows is crazy.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy. Like I seen that like around the hood. I was like, whoa, why does she have braids? And then what's crazy? I saw an Asian girl that really acted like a dead ass a New York ratchet chick. She didn't say
Asian
the N
girl?
word. She was on Instagram. I was like, she didn't say the N word per se, but she was like, yeah, New York City, I'm on the D train right now. Suck my dick. And I'm like, whoa, what are you
Wow.
doing? I was like, how is she this ratchet and she's like Asian? Like, nah, yo, this is weird. And of
Yeah.
course, you have black people coming at our throat, mainly black women. I was like, why you trying to be like us? Why you trying to take our whole aesthetic? So yeah, I mean, I get it,
I
but
I won't I don't ever come at people like I'm not gonna say anything, but it does give me cause for pause. Like if I see a white girl with box braids, I'm like, oh, she's one of those.
Oh
And
yeah.
I just kind of keep it moving. I don't say anything though, and I'm not gonna go on the internet and be mad about it. I'll just be like, oh, okay.
so let
I
me
But
ask y'all a
well,
question.
okay, go ahead.
What did y'all think about Adele with the bantu knots and the Jamaican bikini top on? What y'all thought about that?
oh, Adele, I like Adele. But it's kind of interesting. Adele is white Keisha, but Adele is probably only one of the white Keishas that I like, and I think it's because she's big.
Used to be.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
She
used to be.
lost weight.
Yeah,
Wait.
but like when fat girls lose weight, they still have like they still see a fat chick in a mirror a lot of times, especially if they ain't lose it like through like a healthy way. So I think she still has like okay, so fat chicks kind of go through I shouldn't talk about this. Never mind. I'm gonna leave it alone.
Mm-mm.
But
Nah, go
Talk
ahead.
about it.
okay, so I think that they still deal with like a lot of esteem issues and rejection issues in some points, right?
Hmm.
But when people have dealt with a lot of rejection, they tend to be a bit more stronger mentally. Um, they don't tend to let everything get under their skin. Like if you've lost a lot, you're not gonna cry if you lose again. And so I tend to be more relatable to people who's gone through shit personally, and it's just me. And so when you kind of see a person that's kind of been rejected and they've gone through a whole lot, I think I maybe trauma bond with them a lot. So it's like I actually like Adele's personality and she makes some good songs. So I like Adele. I
Yeah.
don't really know about the bantu knots and stuff, but it did give me a little call. I was like, girl, what are you doing? But go ahead. Okay.
Right. I thought she looked cute with the bantu knots, honestly. It's not for everybody, but maybe it's just because it's Adele and we all love Adele. That's probably why. Because if I saw like average Becky walking around with bantu knots, I'd probably be like, no, she
Nah.
didn't get no bantu knots. Like, it'll be weird, you know?
So Adele got a pass basically.
Right.
Yeah,
Cause I
yeah,
don't think she
kind
looked bad.
of.
Cause honestly, looking at the photo, I was like, she actually looks attractive when she lost the weight. You know what I'm saying? Then she got the Batu knots and the Jamaican. Like she looked like she was living life. And I was just like, yeah, she actually looks good with the Batu knots. I don't say that for a lot of white girls.
Yeah, yeah. I think she's been listening to a little cultural music. Like she's a big Beyonce fan, a big Nicki fan and stuff. So I was like, okay, I could see Adele coming to the cookout, just a little bit.
Right.
She can't bring anything but like some plates or something, maybe the drinks, but yeah, she can come to the cookout.
I agree with you.
Mhm.
Nah, she
Yeah.
get like one plate, yo, aluminum foil.
Yeah,
She gotta
yeah,
be out.
one plate and she gotta
One
go.
plate. She
She
get
can
like
she can
one.
share
She get a
dinner for
sip of
about 20.
Kool-Aid. She get a
Yeah.
sip of Kool-Aid and then be out. You understand?
Yeah. But real
Yeah.
quick, I just want to say shout out to D Rock Then. Thank you for the cash app. He said, oh, for the Tuesday morning gossip. Shout out to Melody and panel. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Nah,
And
that stream
then
was funny last night.
Adele seems like a girl's girl. Like she seems like she would be fun and like she's
Hmm.
not like a stick in the mud. So I think that's why I like her too.
She seemed reserved.
You think she seems reserved? I see a wild chick.
Nah, she seems reserved. Like, like that whole entire carnival she probably went to was like her coming out her shell a little bit more, but she seems like the reserved type.
You really think that she seems reserved? Wow.
Yeah, she do. That's how I look at it. She looks like she's reserved.
Did you ever see her rap that Nicki Minaj verse?
I think I did. I'm not
You
too sure.
still think she
I might
reserved?
have been. Yeah, I mean, look, you could put a presentation on Instagram when you feel comfortable, but pretty much your personality might not match that. You might feel comfortable on social media, but real life, you might just be more reserved into yourself. So,
Oh.
Wait, can
that,
I just address this real quick? Were you finished?
yeah, you got it.
Okay, he says, I can care less about women wearing weave, but it's the upkeeping of the weave that's the problem. Some chicks' weave smell horrible. I do agree with that. Women should definitely take their weave out, at least within a couple of weeks. You should wash your hair in between. Like that's where a lot of women mess up. They don't wash their weaves. They just wear it for like a month or two straight, no water or nothing. But like I would say, because you can wash weaves, you can wash it real good, just like dreads, just like braids, you can wash it. So that's where I think they mess up at. What are you guys' thoughts?
Wash your weave. Yeah, wash your weave.
Exactly. How about you, Brownberg?
Um, yeah, I would
Oh,
say wash or weave. I just still don't really care for it. So I mean, I'm like the type of women I like. They're more of the spiritual miracle type of chicks. Like they got the hair wraps, the afros. But to answer the question, yeah, just wash it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you
Take
like
care of it.
magical vagina. Nice.
Damn right. Read the tarot cards and zodiac signs. Understand?
right.
It's
Hey,
good,
Jason.
GC.
Hello?
Hey, what's up? My bad. I was
Yeah.
still on mute, so I had to unmute. I had to mute the other line. But what's
What's,
going on,
what,
Brown versus George Melody?
nothing much.
I
What?
was just talking about you, GC.
Peace,
Uh-oh.
G.
Yeah, I know. So
Yeah.
I was going over Art's video yesterday, so I can have the timestamps I need for my discussion later on this morning. So, but yeah, so y'all were talking about. I think Brown Bar, you were saying that you like the spiritual girls. See, I call them zodiac chicks, and
Yeah.
I've never really been into that.
Like they into poetry, like artsy. I'm artsy girls. That's my type. Like artsy.
Now I don't mind artsy, but like the zodiac ones in particular, they kind of. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would still sleep with one because just by not liking a minor feature on somebody, that doesn't mean that I'm not going to sleep with them. because I'm not an idiot. But the thing about zodiac chicks is that I found a problem that I had with them is that they tend to assume that they know more about a person and a situation than they do. So when they're gossiping, they like, oh, and I knew she was like that because she's a Pisces. It's like, really? Really?
Well, I do think that
Well, oh no. Shaka Nulu. He says your loss. Some good old no. See, here's the thing. It's not my loss because unlike an idiot, I still sleep with women that I have minor disagreements with or lack of attraction to.
Wait, real quick, GC. Because I think this should be discussed.
Mm-hmm.
And no arguing, no yelling. Pretty much Sister George came on here and she felt some type of way because she felt like you called her sisterhood, and that's not the case.
Mm-hmm.
So she just want to know, why did you come at her like that?
and why do
You
you
called her
think that
sisterhood.
way?
I do think she's sisterhood, but I didn't call her that on the show, at least not to my recollection. You see, the thing about yesterday's conversation is that Sister George was speaking in the defense of women with fake hair as a natural haired woman.
Why do you think that?
Well, you're a natural haired woman, correct?
No. Why do you think I was speaking in the defense of, as opposed to trying to explain why, if you're being asked a question as to why these things are happening? That's what I want to know.
Was someone asking you the question of why the things are happening? Because I personally went in with the understanding that they're happening because these chicks are crazy as hell. Now,
Yes, which we also discussed some of the psychological issues
right,
and
exactly. And
self-esteem
instead of
issues.
leaving it at that, your response was because the guys are still fucking us. And a proposition was made that if we no longer want fake hair, we should just stop fucking you. But until then, and this is what's implied afterwards, we are justified in continuing to wear our fake hair. So basically, your response, the
Wait,
implication,
GC.
I would like to
Let's slow
continue to
down a
talk.
little
I would
bit.
like to continue to talk and answer the question.
Let's all go one at a time.
Yeah, I
Well,
know. I
this
was
is what
going,
I'm
Melody,
saying.
but like always, she interrupts. Now,
GC, well,
oh,
you say
geez.
a whole lot. You say a whole lot, and I don't have a pen and paper. So I want to address like what you say, like a little bit at a time, so we don't get too far off into somewhere else. And so you just said a lot. And
Okay,
so
I
what
tell you
I'm
what. I tell you what. I'll wait while you get a pen and paper. I have pencil and paper.
Okay,
All right.
excellent. Give me
All right.
just a second.
Sure.
Okay, yeah, because I want to resolve this because it doesn't make any sense. It's real petty to me. Everybody just have differences of opinions, so.
Okay, now what were you saying at first, GC? You said that what? Because you
So
said a lot.
yeah, no worries. Okay, so I'll start again. So basically, all right, I'm gonna put it like this. If I'm having a conversation and saying, why does person A behave in this particular way, and person B says, oh, because you still fuck us when we do. I tend to leave that conversation because it's a very bizarre thing to say. And what you're doing is you're proposing that if you stop fucking us, we will stop behaving this way. So you fucking us is basically validation for our behavior. Now, though I do see the truth in that, the thing is that what's being also stated is that a woman should and could and is justified in behaving in a way as long as men are willing to fuck her. Meaning that a black woman is justified in being as fucked up and nasty as possible, as womanly possible, as long as black men fuck her. And it also implies that I'm going to do this anyway. What you going to do? Not fuck us? So yeah, That type of thinking is very sisterhood. It's providing them with a justification for ill behavior. Unless a woman is attempting to maximize the pleasure that she is giving Black mankind and not just being attractive enough to fuck, then she is sisterhood.
Okay, Sister George.
Okay. Well, yesterday we actually did provide what was going on at the beginning when we talked about what kids go through when they being seen with long hair, when they see the admiration that a child with long hair or an attractive child gets. We also talked about it being a psychological issue with mothers actually doing and putting weaves in their children's hair, which turns into an issue later on. We also talked about the self-esteem issues, especially with a woman who's afraid to wear her real hair out and she doesn't like her real self. We talked about the psychological issues with that, right? Um, we talked about me when I got my first weave and how I was reactionary to it. And we talked about my journey and how I wear my real hair now. When we talk about all these things and we talk about the psychological issues and the issues with children, and we talk about the root of the problem, um, and we say this is what the problem is, and then we say, well, okay, you know what the problem is now. Now, if you continue to deal with these problems, Black women haven't changed. They haven't. Now, I'm starting to see certain things that's changing because I do think more Black women are wearing their real hair. I think more Black women are going natural. But if this is not to your satisfaction, and you're still not seeing the things that you want within that woman, and you are still saying that you don't like a certain thing, but you continue to have sex with them. Well, um, like I was saying yesterday, it is a sort of reinforcement of things that you don't want if you continue to deal with them. And if you're dealing with a woman that you don't like or you don't want, but you're still giving her sex, I was just saying that sex is validation. I'm not saying that the mind thought process is right. I'm just saying it's validation in her mind. And so therefore, she continues to feel justified for doing what she's doing because it's getting her somewhere that she probably never would have gotten before. And that's what I'm saying. That's what my whole thing was. I think that if you are saying what the issues are and a man continues to go, that woman's not gonna stop getting weed because she's still able to get something out of the deal that she wants. Like she's not getting weed, but she's able to get attention from guys that she normally wouldn't have gotten attention from. And when you have that sort of negative reinforcement, because there is a price to pay down the line, if you keep getting that negative reinforcement or positive reinforcement in her brain, that still does something to her, that still does something for her. And I'm not saying that that's right, but I'm saying that's the thought process. And I felt like we were being attacked and gone after for explaining what a person's thought process is and telling you a viable solution if you don't want something or if you don't want to deal with a certain person and that's not what you want. That's what we were saying.
All right, GC, you there?
Excuse me, I was muted. But you said viable solution. Could you elaborate, please?
Okay. If you don't like um and I'm saying like a woman could stop wearing weave, but the woman's not going to stop wearing weave because that
Mm-hmm.
does something for her. She thinks it enhances her look. She thinks she looks more beautiful with it. That's how she feels on the inside. Um, the solution to me would be to leave them alone if that's not what you want. And I think
Okay.
that would be the best solution. I think the best solution would be, of course, for the woman to stop wearing weave, but she's not going to do that. And
Okay.
so I wouldn't tell a man, okay, if you don't like something, to keep doing it or to keep going after it if that's not what you really want. Now, you mentioned yesterday about women using that validation and feeling some type of way about
Well,
that
that's,
validation.
I mean, that you've answered my question. Thank you. Okay, so viable solution is leave her alone. You see,
No, I actually,
I
you
just
see,
asked you
I
that
did
question and
say,
you just answered that.
no, no, no,
So
no,
please,
GC, but you
ah,
didn't
Jesus.
include my whole answer. I said, of course, the solution would be for the woman to stop wearing weave, but she's not. So what the solution? What would the next thing to be for the man? What would the man's solution be?
Okay, thank you, Sister George. All right, and this is why I say that your sisterhood. Simply put, I said, what's the viable solution? If a lot of Black women are fucked in the head so much that they have to put weave in it, the viable solution would be to not be so fucked in the head. And that is the intelligent answer for most individuals of any group to say. However, the sisterhood answer is always, yes, scroll, please. Hold on. Yeah, here we go. And let me do this. Presentation. All right, there we go. Hold on, Melody. I'm about to bring up the scroll. Melody, please, the scroll, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
No
sorry.
worries.
Give me 1 minute.
Okay. All failures of the Black community is due to white supremacy or Black men, depending on the circumstances. Here we have an instance where a group of women have a problem, and that problem is they're addicted to the aesthetics of putting somebody else's hair in their head. All right, thank you very much, Melody. Now, the solution isn't we should just stop taking the hair out of our damn head. The solution for them is that y'all need to stop fucking us. That's right, fellas. The solution for Black women wearing fake hair is for Black men to stop fucking them. So,
Okay,
when
can
a
I speak
person
now?
is, no, because please, after a period or a long comma, then do so. Now,
I thought that was a period or a long comma. I'm
it
sorry.
was
Go
not.
ahead.
It was not. 3 seconds
Thank
apart,
you.
please. All right. So, the solution to such a thing is and always will be don't wear any damn fake hair. But somehow it's the man's fault. It's the man's fault for continuing to like sex in spite of fucked up hair. Now, as I mentioned before, as I mentioned on the show, it's only about 6% of my total overall desire to fuck. So basically, they're giving C minus pussy. It's like having a person that doesn't do homework and does shitty on the midterm, but still winds up passing the class. Like, hey, I'm passing, yes, but you're a C minus student. You're giving us the bare minimum it is to pass. Well, if you don't like it, then don't pass me, is the response. Yes, the solution to their hair problem is us as men stop fucking them. Once again, very sisterhood, because the solution to the problem is always the men. But hey, when they're passing out power, they're there to receive that. And when they're passing out responsibility and accountability, here you go, Black man. Stop fucking us. Now, this sets a precedence. Everything you do as a Black man and say, send your complaints to my vagina. If you don't like it, don't fuck me. Would you mind cooking? If you don't like it, don't fuck me. Would you mind
Game
cleaning
changer,
up?
I think we got what you're saying because you're going on for just like a little rant, and it's not. We got the point.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Period, long
Can you
comma.
wrap it up?
Period, long comma.
Just wrap it up.
Each
It's
and
what
every
people hear.
single, you see this? You see this, fellas? Each and everything you can complain about, as long as you still fuck them, then it's okay. Meaning, this creates a precedence where you are dealing with women who are just annoying enough to fuck.
Okay, great. Period, long comma, great. My turn. Okay. So I don't understand where we got the she blames men for our weaves. Never said it, never implied it, never thought about it like that. Um, I'm saying you as men have complete autonomy over where you stick your dicks. If you choose to fuck Fat Keisha, then that's what you choose to do because you like Fat Keisha just enough for your dick to get hard for you to stick it in. But that's a choice. If you choose to fuck the ugly girl with the fat ass, that's a choice. You choose to fuck the girl with the big, nasty, dirty, gritty, slimy ass weave. That's a choice. That if you're making choices but you're blaming, so if you go and you let's say you go to an ice cream shop and you have vanilla and chocolate ice cream there, and you see the chocolate ice cream, you don't really like the chocolate ice cream. The vanilla actually probably is a better ice cream for you, and you still eat the chocolate. Is that the fucking vanilla ice cream fault? You're gonna blame the vanilla for that because you chose chocolate? You know what? I don't like vanilla ice cream. No, no, I like vanilla ice cream. The chocolate's just okay. I know chocolate's just okay. I'm still gonna choose the chocolate ice cream and then get mad at the chocolate ice cream because I chose it. How much sense does that make? You're having complete choices to do whatever it is you want to do with yourself, but you're still going to blame somebody else for your own choices when you already know what this is about. You've tasted the chocolate ice cream before. You've had it a million times. You know it's still the same old raggedy ass chocolate ice cream that you're just not satisfied with, but you still keep going, thinking that, well, maybe they'll change the ingredients of the chocolate ice cream. You know what it tastes like. You've been there 1,000 times. If you don't like something, don't fuck with it. Um,
Is that a period
then
or a long pause?
no, it wasn't.
Okay, you
But
still talking about ice cream?
I'm still making my point if you don't mind, complex.
No, that's why I'm just asking. Just asking.
Thank you so much. But
Grammatics.
Right.
then, if you actually get down to the bottom of, and you're telling these men, you know what? Well, this starts off when you're kids. Well, tell the kids they're fucking ugly and let them understand the harsh things about life. And you're saying that to your little girls, and then when people say this about their little boys, and then you have guys in this space who talk about issues that are being had with little boys, you have to kind of wonder, okay, you don't want our little boys being downgraded. You don't want people being downgraded, period. Well, you can explain the realities of life, but when you talk about self-esteem issues and women actually seeking help, people are not going to get help as long, and if any of you know anything about addiction, most people don't really go out to seek help until there's not any other options, until they don't have anything. And that's called hitting rock bottom. I tell Black men to let women hit rock bottom if they're not doing the things that you don't do, that you don't want them to do. Don't fuck with them. Leave them alone. Go get a Becky. Go get an African girl. Go get a Caribbean girl. Go somewhere else and do what you have to do.
Yeah.
If you're not getting the things from the women that you like, but they're not doing what you want, so don't fuck with them. And I think that's the best solution, is just to leave. If they're not going to change, do what you have to do as a man. And I don't feel like that's being sisterhood. That's a sentiment being echoed throughout the manosphere. I don't see you calling the manosphere sisterhood when they're telling you to leave. And now I'm done.
Okay.
Period. Long pause.
All right. Period. Long pause. Thank you. Like really. Like once again, man, it's your fault, dude.
Well, complex. If I could respond, because I wrote some things down on my notes.
Go ahead, dude.
So the statement was made: men have complete autonomy over who they fuck. Tell that to Rihanna. And but secondly, just like
I don't understand that statement real quick. What do you mean by tell that to Rihanna? I don't know what that means.
It means that if I had autonomy over who I fuck, then I would be fucking Rihanna. Now, so
but Rihanna is getting dick though, right?
Okay,
Jesus
there was no
Christ.
period or long pause.
Well,
Exactly.
I'm just saying it's a confusing statement because he's saying
Then,
that.
okay.
Like Rihanna would have
I
to
tell you
want
what,
him
if
for
I get 10
for him to
Grammatics.
fuck Rihanna. I just didn't
if I
understand.
get 10 ones,
I'm sorry,
then I'll repeat it. If I don't, then it's you. Press 1 if you understood what I meant about the Rihanna reference. Or excuse me, if you didn't understand. Press 1 if you didn't understand what I meant about the Rihanna reference. Oh, see, now I don't know which one. All right, let's start again. Press no, because I said two different things. Okay, so press 2 if you didn't understand what I meant about the Rihanna reference. Okay, Ray. All right, so I won't slow down a conversation for two people. I won't. Oh wait, here's another two. All right.
Yeah, can you please explain that?
The Rihanna reference,
Yeah.
simply put, if men had complete autonomy over who they fuck, then everybody would be fucking Rihanna. Is that understandable, Melody?
I understand it now. Yes.
Okay, so that being the case, we genuinely don't. But I'm going to entertain that and say, men have autonomy over who we fuck. We don't, but let's go with this for a second. And women have autonomy over what the fuck they put in their head. You see, blaming men for what they put on their damn head and saying that the only way that we won't put it on is to not fuck them is truly, truly the plight of a disobedient woman. Now, a regular woman, and by regular, I mean one who's not sisterhood, would simply say to that, like, you know, something, we do have deep rooted psychological concerns that begins in childhood that we have to work on. And me as a woman with natural hair will work to help others, you know, out of this psychological quagmire that we find ourselves in. When Complex Design brings up his daughter, it says, yes, it does start at a young age. And, you know, that's something that we should discourage in our daughters. That is what a non-sisterhood woman would say. A sisterhood woman would say, well, you as Black men, because somehow their hair is our fault, continue to fuck us. Therefore, you know, you should not fuck us. I am doing something in defiance, and it is your responsibility to behave in the way that I dictate in order to stop the thing that I'm doing. No, that's bullshit. Now, and this is really all I'm going to say on this, and then I'll let Complex Design have it because I don't like talking to sisterhood, to be honest with you. But go get a Becky. Go get
Can you stop
a.
using our topics and doing after shows on our topics and stuff if you don't like talking to us? And
Yeah.
I would appreciate if you didn't come to our show anymore. That would be great. Since you don't like talking to us, don't use
Well,
anything that we
I
do.
don't go to your
You,
show
you,
anymore.
you have.
No, I
Speaks
That's
don't
about
not a
go to your.
lie.
StreamYard.
You've used quite a
No,
few of our
well,
shows. You have. I'm
again,
just asking,
I
like,
don't
please
like
honor
going.
that then.
I
Please
don't
honor
like
that.
going to your show.
Well, you
I,
can
well, I
come
should
to
say I
talk to
don't go to your
us
show anymore.
and using our
But
topics. So
as
don't do
far
that.
as Sister George, please. I didn't have a period or long pause, but you know, as far as going to your show anymore, okay, I won't. And I haven't in a while. Now, as
You
far
did like
as
a week ago. So that was not a while, that was a week ago. But go ahead.
all right, hold on. Let me go to your channel and let's see what was on a week
I
ago.
thought we was gonna be able to resolve this. Oh my goodness.
No worries.
No, it's not going to be resolved because you have somebody that's literally being up here being very disingenuous over points that I literally made. I said that they have psychological issues. I said that it starts in childhood. I said, okay, if you know that something is not going to change, as opposed to calling somebody a feminist for saying that something's not going to change and telling them, okay, this is not going to change. This is who these people are going to be. If you as a man aren't able to change a woman and you have something more than you're going to be able to provide for a woman more than I ever will. I'll never provide for a woman unless it's my child. You as a man have something that women want, that something that women will actually do something for. She's not going to change for me. I'm a woman, but she'll change for a man if she's not getting what she wants from a man. So if and then when he's saying that his penis still gets hard for a ugly chick with a bad weave, that's my fault that his dick gets hard for an ugly chick with a bad weave. I want you guys to really think about this. His dick gets hard for an ugly chick with a bad weave, and me telling him not to fuck the ugly chick with a bad weave because the ugly chick with a bad weave is like a stone. She's just gonna do that. He gets
What?
mad at me for saying not to leave it alone, walk away from it, because that's what that's gonna be. But he's expecting me to change something that he couldn't change either. Make that make sense?
Okay. Okay.
I
So,
want to get complex because it wasn't your turn. It's complex now.
actually, you interrupted. I didn't have a period or long pause. Now going to your channel, I'm going back 2 weeks, and still me not on it. Let's see. Here's 3 weeks. Let's see. Can great value men hold the same standard as high value men? Let's see if I'm on that one. Obsidian's here. I think I'd remember talking to him. Let's see.
Can you give the floor to somebody else, GC? You just did a show about our show a week or two ago. It's semantics and it's petty, but you've been there. You've been to our show
Yeah.
quite a few times.
So I haven't been on your show.
Not to use our
I
show.
haven't
Don't
been
come to
on
our
your
show.
show.
Leave us alone.
I haven't been on your show in quite some time.
No,
Now, on my show, Jesus Christ, period or long comma? Period.
And look at the show that you've done on our show.
Yeah.
So
Period or long comma, please.
Been that long ago, sir.
Period.
It hasn't been that long ago.
Period.
Anyway,
Period or long comma, please.
It's not a period or a long comma. Just leave us alone. Don't come to our show. Don't discuss us. We won't discuss you. We don't bother you. We don't talk about you. We don't care about you, sir. Leave us alone.
Mm-hmm.
Exclamation point.
So,
exclamation point. We don't care.
See what I mean? God damn, yo.
okay.
I'm
Now,
sorry.
yeah, someone is triggered, Michael. Okay, here's the thing. I agree that I will not be going to your show anymore. Fair enough.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Furthermore, yeah, I know the interruptions, wacky world. Furthermore, as far as discussing your show, as people who watch my show know and understand, I examine all sisterhood.
Yeah, so okay, never mind.
I was drinking water. I know that appeared to be a period or long comma. Now, the last thing on my notes, and then we go to complex. Go get a Becky. Go get a Becky. Now, this is the same people who says, what's the difference between a girl in South America and Keisha from the block? And the psychological issues that they bring up is the difference. So I
also said go get a Becky.
Jesus Christ.
Because when you make a statement,
a complete lack of understanding. Can you not interrupt?
When you make a statement like that, when you make a statement like that and you don't say the whole thing, you do actually take away the context of said statement. So don't do that, because you're not saying the whole statement that I said. I said, go get a Becky, go get you a South American chick, go get you a chick from the Caribbean, go get you an African chick. I said all of those things, but the part that you will exclude is for Black women to say, go get a white woman if that's what you want. I'm telling you to go get whatever woman you want if the Black woman is not cutting, American Black woman is not cutting it for you. So don't just say that I said go get a Becky. You can go ahead.
Becky's not from South America. This was just weird. But I understand. You got to interrupt somewhat, somehow. Anyway, in the conversation about overseas women or overseas prostitutes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, we were talking about, generally speaking, women from developing countries. And the whole thing was, I don't understand why you would bring this particular woman out of poverty, primarily a South American woman, or a woman from the Black Spanish diaspora. Why would you bring this particular woman out of poverty while at the same time not bring Keisha out of poverty? Basically saying that they're essentially the same woman. They're not. These women don't interrupt every sentence. They don't. They don't have fake hair and says, I'm going to continue to do something I know you don't like as long as you continue to fuck me. They're just better women.
See, I didn't interrupt every sentence.
Jesus. All right, Complex, it's on you.
I forgot what my point was.
Yeah, I know.
Great. That means
I can take it,
talk.
Complex.
Okay, because Complex
that's the whole point of
you
chronic interruptions.
You just had a turn, GC. So like I was saying before, if you don't like something somebody is doing, do you still continue to deal with something that somebody is doing? If you don't like it, then that would suggest that you have psychological issues and you sound like a crazy person because you're saying that you hate the big fat stinky weave. Matter of fact, GC says he would never fuck a fat chick anymore, right? He doesn't like fat chicks. He doesn't fuck with fat chicks. He hates fat chicks. She is less of a woman, right? But he doesn't like that. Nobody can convince him to fuck a fat chick, but they can convince him to fuck a chick with a weave. And so I feel like every time we do something and GC wants some show or he needs some content, he tries to conflate arguments to get stuff for his show. And I don't understand what's the difference between the fat chick and the chick with weave. If you don't like either one of them, you don't have a problem with stopping fucking the fat chicks. We can't convince you to fuck a fat chick. We shouldn't be able to convince you to fuck a chick with a weave either. And so I'm trying to understand the difference because it just sounds hypocritical, silly, and stupid, to be honest. Because you're saying that I have more control over what you do with your dick than you do. And then if you're talking about Rihanna would never look at you. Rihanna would never want you. But you would want to fuck Rihanna, but Rihanna wears weave as well. So it just doesn't make sense. And I just don't understand. Yeah, that's all. I'll leave it at that.
Carolyn, do you understand? Yeah, that doesn't help. Carolyn, do you understand?
I understand exactly what she's saying because I'm about to break it down a different way. Mm-hmm. Attention is validation, be it positive or negative. When you're dealing with the mind of a woman, dick is validation, positive or negative. Validation is currency for us as men. That currency gives you the ability to buy whatever you want. It's like I said in the chat. If you're a BMW guy, why would you buy a Mustang and then complain that it's a Mustang? You didn't have to buy it because you use your own currency. You see what I'm saying? Complex and myself are perfect examples. We have a standard that we live by, and we don't waver on it. Complex said yesterday that he wouldn't deal with a chick that did certain things, particularly when it comes to unnatural hair. He didn't waver on it.
I don't do weaves.
Right. He didn't waver on that, and he got the result he wanted. Now, unfortunately, his wife passed away, but he's still instilling those same values into his daughter to pass his legacy on. Mm-hmm. I'm the same way. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little bit more lenient as far as certain types of hair, but Danny has to come to me with the plan because she know I don't really care for it. You see what I'm saying? That's my form of compromise because it's going to take two for it to work in the end anyway. You know what I mean? And that's all I was saying is at the end of the day, you still have a choice of who you choose to deal with. And if if you're going to deal with somebody that does something that you don't care for, at the end of the day, bro, that's still on you. So because you're not obligated to deal with them is my point.
So say there's an ice cream shop, right? Let's go with this analogy. Now, ideally, you want a very particular type of ice cream. Let's just say ice cream X, right? You walk into the shop and they say, we're all out of ice cream X today. Would you like ice cream Y, which is slightly less than ice cream X? And a kid would say yes, because it's still ice cream. And then if the store owner at that part says, okay, and why when ice cream X isn't readily available? So that store owner says, I'm never going to buy ice cream X again, and I will continue to serve him ice cream Y forever. Then I would say that that store owner doesn't give a shit about his customers. And it really means that it's a fucked up store owner. Now, as far as the fat analogy goes, you see, a woman being fat in this analogy is kind of like, instead of serving ice cream, I'm going to serve raw liver. You see, hair is a slight difference. I would prefer real, but it's a slight difference. Fat is a fat ass difference. Now, there was an attempt to be or imply hypocrisy in that. It's really not. There's a difference between a woman's overall being of fat and hair. But I see what was attempted there. But
Well,
once again, the conversation should go, Curlin. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm just waking up. The conversation should go. We as men collectively don't like it, don't prefer it. And we as non-sisterhood Black women should be discussing on what can we collectively do to end it.
Can I make a point
right.
out, JC?
Real quick, complex.
Mhm.
On the ice cream analogy, at that point, you should take your money and go to another shop.
Yeah,
It's really
and that shop is called Columbia, but you know that would be a separate.
But that's a solution, though.
Brazil.
No,
it
right,
doesn't matter. You go somewhere else.
But you see, yeah, I get it. And once again, and that's why I brought up when they were saying, what's the difference between this chick and Keisha from the block? Yeah, Keisha from the block don't serve X brand ice cream. So this goes into a different topic. Now, we could have went into that topic, you know, but once again, no matter what, I will still point out the horrors of dealing with a woman who says, if you don't like it, then take your penis elsewhere. This is what you're dealing with. I want you fellas to stop and think about what collectively is being said. We're gonna put fake hair in our head, and if the only way we'll take it out is if you stop fucking us. And if you don't like it, then leave the country. It's basically what they're saying to you. You see the lack of disrespect? I'm not sisterhood. I'm on your side. Bullshit.
GC has to deal with the tension, though. That's what I think the whole entire conversation is about. GC.
Thank you.
When you're giving women the sex, it's validating them because they feel important. So if you're nearly saying, I really don't understand how it relates to the sisterhood thing, because I feel like I've been in this space long enough to kind of understand it. But bro, like, if you're literally saying I'll smash even though you have a weave, but I don't like that you have a weave, that's still validating them because you're still sticking your dick inside their vagina. So that means
okay.
So that means, oh, wait. Let me finish. So that means that you're still paying attention to them, even though you don't like something about them, which is the hair. So the solution would be ice cream analogy, Columbia analogy. Leave them the hell alone. This is the reason I sit up there and I say I deal with Kiana's. I don't want to deal with Keisha's. I deal with Kiana's. Because I know that I can find that flavor of ice cream that's going to be delectable to me. Mm-hmm. That ice cream X, I don't even put up with it. I ain't spending my money in that shop. Get the hell out of here. So what I'm trying to say is there's still a type of validation that comes into that. To avoid the situation, don't pay no mind to them. Keep on keeping on, bro.
So yeah, we're not talking about the resolution of the men. We're actually talking about the mindset of the shop owner in this case.
But the women, right?
Please don't interrupt. So we're talking about the mentality of the shop owner and the intentions of the shop owner in this particular case. That's what we're talking about. Now, the mindset of this particular shop owner is, you know, I am going to give you what's as fucked up as possible. And if you don't like it, don't deal with it. That mindset is one of the sisterhood. You was asking, how is this a matter of the sisterhood?
Hey,
And furthermore, you know, it's an attempt to segue and put the onus back on the men. Now, I do agree with that. And if guess what, you know, I'll fuck you both. You know, I don't care if these chicks die alone, or what have you. Yes, I'll fuck an American chick and marry a Colombian chick or marry an African chick. I will, can, and have done that.
Hey, GC, when you're done, Topaz is going to go next because she can't stay long.
Yeah, no worries. So I want you to think of it. I want you to think of it as if the ice cream was free. Maybe that's a better analogy. So, or let's add that to the analogy, shall we? Like, okay, this place says I'm not going to serve brand X ice cream. I am going to serve brand Y ice cream, which is only 6% different than brand X, but it's free. Okay, I'll take your free samples and take my money elsewhere. More fool you, but doesn't change the fact that you have some type of strange sisterhood stuff going.
All right, so we're going to have Topaz next. Hey, girl.
Hey, Melody. Morning stream. Can y'all hear me okay?
Topaz.
Yes, we can hear you.
Hey. Complex, Sister George, Curlin, Gino, and Bronze. How y'all doing? So I'm gonna be real quick because I'm on my way to an appointment. So one, I was supposed to be on that panel, but I couldn't because I had a crisis.
Greet everybody but me?
Huh?
Did
no,
you greet everybody
and GC. And GC, I'm sorry. I thought I said everybody. I was going around in a circle.
No worries.
So GC, you get a separate one. I was supposed to be on that panel, but I couldn't because I had a crisis appointment. But I see I missed a lot. So I'll just say my point of view, right? One, I want y'all to know I don't blame black men because the reason why black women are wearing weaves is because somebody got to the minds of black women before y'all, right? So I want y'all to understand this is not what I'm about to say is not coming from a place of blame. It is coming from a place of power. It's not y'all fault that black women wear weave, but you do have the power to change it because the women, right? When we sit around and we talk by ourselves, right? Because even if you have a wife, there are going to be times where she's out doing something, she's talking to other women. Women tell each other it's okay if they don't want to date you or don't want to marry you or whatever, as long as at the very least, if somebody's giving you sex, then you at least still exist. The only time that a woman feels like there needs to be something changed is when she is completely ignored. So in terms of behavioral analysis, one way to extinguish a behavior is to ignore it. You don't punish it. Punish it still is negative attention. There are people that act out to get negative attention because it's still somebody talking to them. It's still a feeling of being alive. So what I'm saying is you have within your power to extinguish that behavior that you don't like. But it means she has to be starved of all validation. Now, if black men are not willing to do that, then understand it's going to keep going. Third, I want to let y'all know that, see, you guys are having a hard time understanding this because you're not the ones contributing to it. The men on this panel aren't dating women with weaves. Okay, they're getting attention from the other men. So I could talk till I'm blue in the face to them about, how it's better for you to not wear weave, but I don't approach that conversation because there's still men out there telling them that it looks cute, that they understand that it's just an accessory. So what I do with women, I talk to them about their attitude and their self-esteem, because once they have self-esteem, that will eliminate the weave. So, it's kind of indirect, because if you go direct at it, they're going to fight, they're going to push back. So out their attitude about themselves, why they think certain things is pretty, who told them that, just getting them thinking about, paying more attention to what do you even know what you look like naturally? Do you even remember what your hair looks like? And so with that, then the weaves will go away once they find an appreciation for their own hair. So I did want to just say that, is that y'all do have power. The part that I play in that and trying to get women to wear less weave is because I feel like that's a lot of money going out of the black community. We could style our own hair. We could pay our own beauticians. We don't have to give that money out. That could be something that we do so that we take back the power, especially with these, the suppliers not treating us, equally. We could just opt out of it altogether. So that was my point. That's what I would have said on the panel. So I'm going to drop back in. I'm going to still be listening in the clouds while I'm at the office. So I'm going to drop back and I'll answer questions in the chat.
Thank you,
So
But thank
can I,
you for
Topaz.
letting me, Melody.
Melody,
Thank
can
you
I get
so
a
All right.
much. And
point?
y'all have a good day.
All right.
You
Thanks.
too,
So,
Topaz.
bye.
Hey, Melody, can I
Okay.
get a point in?
Huh?
I was saying, can I get a point in? I finally
Oh,
have a
sure. Go
point.
ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Here's the deal. This keeps being a thing of, well, men. Men have nothing to do with this. This has everything to do with a self-image issue. It has to do with what a sister sees when she looks in the goddamn mirror. It don't have nothing to do with me. See, because I've already been unequivocal in telling you I don't particularly care for the shit. I think it looks silly. You guys are going to continue to do it any damn way. See, so the reality is that, and I said this yesterday, if sisters woke up tomorrow and every last one of y'all removed the weave and got rid of this shit, guess what? Y'all still getting dick. You do realize this, right? The dick don't stop. Okay? If you got rid of the shit tomorrow and all y'all was walking around with natural hair, y'all still getting dick. So stop the cap. Stop saying, well, men are validating it. No, men are having sex because that's what humans do. Weave or no weave, a dude will give you some dick. I mean, I won't do it, but I'm just saying, a dude will do it and not think anything of it after he's finished. And that's what I taught. That's what I call negative validation, where basically you literally were only validated because you had a vagina and nothing more. And so, as women, if you're okay with it, then guess what? There will be no shortage of men to give it to you, to give you that validation because you want it. See, I'm about accountability and responsibility above all else. I don't give a goddamn. You want to know why? Because, like I said, y'all saw her yesterday. Y'all saw her. Y'all saw my little one. See, she ain't gonna be talking all this dumb shit. This is sickening. I gotta tell you, as a man approaching his mid-40s, to listen to grown-ass women still confused about who the fuck they are at this stage of their lives, and you want to sit up here and tell me, well, at the end of the day, it's your fault, Ulysses. Really? Because see, you could sit up here and tell me, well, then go elsewhere. And I made this point yesterday. Yeah, you tell me to go elsewhere and then I do it. And guess what? Y'all gonna talk shit. Then it's gonna be like, well, you prefer others. And so the reason why we do the weave is because we're trying to compete with them. You guys see the psychological mind fuck here?
Well, is it okay for people who have like alopecia or cancer?
No.
Would you
Hey,
accept it then?
look, Melody, my wife had cancer. So like throw that shit off the table. We ain't talking about people who've got an actual medical condition. We talking about people who got deep psychological issues. Not
Yes,
medical conditions, not cancer, not alopecia, no shit like that. We talking about people who willingly, free-nilly glue other people's shit in their head.
yes, and if you know that something is a psychological
I ain't
issue,
fucking with him. I'm just saying,
okay,
Sister George,
I
like I
understand.
okay, but look. Let's do this. Let's talk about what it is that sisters see when they look in the fucking mirror. Let's go there. What? Because
Okay, and
you said
I
yesterday.
explained it. I
Okay, you said
explained when I
I
got
get it.
my first weave how
Uh-huh.
I felt, and that was something psychological.
Now,
I
let me ask
explained
you
my
this.
own
Why
low
is that?
self-esteem with
Why
it.
is that? Why is
Um,
that?
okay, like I told you, I explained my own psychological issues and my own self-esteem issues when I was putting the weave in my hair and where it was
Yes.
an addiction. I
Yeah.
talked about that.
Right.
Um,
And so that's the issue with all the women. It don't have nothing to do with men. It has to do with the fact
I,
they got
I,
some
I,
fucking
I, I'm,
psychological issues.
I'm saying, but what I'm saying, complex, I'm not saying that the issue of women wearing weave is the man's fault. I never said that. I said that it is a psychological issue. But if men are complaining about weave and women are still doing it and they're continuously doing it, then at that point, if you know somebody is not going to stop doing whatever it is that they're doing that you don't like, then that does become your choice as to whether or not to
We're
deal with
not
them.
talking about choice at this point, Sister George. Let's assume that the choice has already been made. Guess what? Women still got some psychological issues. What y'all gonna do
Yes,
about it?
and so complex, this is what I'll
I can
ask
learn to
you.
understand.
This is what I'll ask you. If men are not getting married to black women at the rate
Oh
that
my
they were,
God. I said, what are y'all gonna do about the psychological issues?
yes, so complex, what I'm trying to understand, and this is what I'm trying to get down to you. there's not anything that I can do outside of educating people within my family structure, people around me, and encouraging women to wear their real hair. Yes, I can do that. But what you are going to understand about adults and most women are going to do whatever it is that they want and they don't care. And if you have people that don't care, that are not willing to meet your needs, then what do you do if people are not don't care and they're not willing to meet your needs? They're not listening to you, they're not listening to me. The only advice that I can give to a man, if a woman's not doing something that he wants, is to leave that woman alone. If you came home every day and your wife or significant other continued to make chicken and she knows that you don't like chicken and you told her about the chicken 1,000 times and you're complaining about the chicken and she's just fried chicken, baked chicken, chicken, barbecue chicken. That's all she fucking makes. And you told her, like, I just told you I don't like fucking chicken. Why is there still chicken here? Why do you keep making chicken? And if that becomes an issue for you, then I wouldn't expect you to remain in a situation like that, because I don't care enough to respect you if I keep doing something that you don't like. And
Sister George.
If a person doesn't respect you to not discontinue the behavior, then the onus would be on you to leave, because that person is not going to change.
Okay.
And I don't understand what's hard to understand about
It's not.
that.
It's nothing that's hard to understand. What it is, you're not answering my question. I'm already the
Yeah,
person
complex.
who.
We can give women
Wait. I'm
psychological
asking
help.
you a question. I'm asking you a question. I'm already a person who wholesale rejects the shit. Assume
Yes.
that because you are talking to the person who thinks that it is fucking silly. You look like clowns. I'll get real clear what I think about this shit. I do think, and you've confirmed it, deep psychological, deep-seated issues. I want to know, what is it that sisters plan to do about the issues that they have when they look at themselves in the mirror, they don't like what they see, and it causes them to do all this shit. I don't fuck with it. So, assuming that you're talking to a person who already does not fuck with it, as a part of Black culture, who is an observer, I'm just asking my sister in here, what do y'all plan to do about fixing this deep psychological issue that seems to pervade a lot of y'all?
And so what I would ask you is,
I know I asked you a question.
Yeah,
What do
answer
y'all
the
plan to
question
do
with
to
a
fix
question.
it?
I'm gonna answer
No,
your
you're
question.
asking me a question. I asked you one.
Okay, so I'll answer your question.
Thank you.
There's not anything that I can do personally
No, what
outside
do you
of what
plan to do? Are you gonna fix it? Are sisters
what,
are they trying to
let
change?
me answer your question. Let me answer your question. You asked me a
Okay.
question, let me answer it.
Yeah.
There is nothing that I can do outside of encouraging people within my circle. There's not anything that I can do outside of getting girls at a young age and encouraging real hair at a young age.
Mm-hmm.
If you're talking about older women that have already made up their minds that this is what they're going to do, I can't change that. I can't make them do anything. I can't give them a magic pill and say this is going to be the key to all your problems. If the problems are psychological,
Yes.
I do try to do mentoring and encouraging women. I do. But
Okay.
that's still, I'm one person that is in it, and it's definitely proven not to be enough for me to tell them what Black men are doing. Well, Black men are leaving. Black women are still saying that they don't care.
Right.
If a person is telling you that they don't care and they don't give a damn about what you say, how you feel, what you think, and
Mm-hmm.
how you view women,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't care to quote unquote protect them, um, and that you're exercising your options to do other things, then to me that's the only solution. Because outside of that, if they're going to continue with what it is that they're doing, nobody can change that but
So
them.
okay. So then, if that's the case, then let's stop talking about negative validation then, because if there's recognition that there's a psychological issue, two, if as a result of said psychological issues, you're going to go about doing the crazy thing of gluing some South Asian woman's hair into your head, right, and then pass it off to me like it's actually yours, right, and then three, as a result of this, you can give a fuck what any dude thinks. You're gonna do you, boo. then I guess the negative validation is wholesale warranted, because at all steps of the process, guess what? You took responsibility and accountability for it. So once again, I don't think that we need to be talking about what men are doing with them, because here's the thing: they don't give a fuck. They're going to do it anyway, and they want dick.
Hey, Complex,
So
one
there's not
second.
going to be no shortage of dudes that gives it to them. But see, that does not address what it is that sisters see when they look in the mirror.
Oh, I'm sorry to
I
interrupt you,
agree with that.
Complex, but hold on. Can you
No,
guys
go ahead, Melody.
for 10 minutes after walk my dog?
Hey, doggo.
All right. Thank you.
She's gonna go walk the pupper.
Okay, can y'all hear me?
What's up, Art?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yo,
What's up, Art?
Hey, what's going on? I forgot to give Curlin a shout out and Nameless yesterday. Those are two names I missed out on, so sorry about that. Thank
That's
y'all for
good.
making a panel very interesting. I think the part that what I was trying to do was trying to cover like all the different categories, like the workplace and things like that. But it seems like we were stuck on relationships, on why, as far as the weaves and stuff. What can you do if you take the relationships and the hooking up and mating away? How do you solve the problem when you take the relationships away? That's when you start having that real conversation. Because like the brothers are saying, okay, even when you don't, do the sex or whatever, the problem's still going to be there. Now, I understand what Sister George is saying is that, okay, that's supposed to be a remedy for us not to have any complaints, not to be with them. And we can give her that. But the thing is, the problem's still going to be there. So since the problem is there, we need to be able to find a way to address this psychological problem, like Topaz was saying in the beginning. That has to be something, because you got a complex. If y'all pay attention, he mentions his daughter a lot. That's huge, y'all. That's a seed. That's a seed right there, to where, okay, what this is probably a question that he probably eventually will ask. What would you tell his daughter as she's growing up and looking at all of this? Would you tell his daughter, well, eventually when she grows up, she's gonna have to stay away from men if she wants to have weaves? I mean, if you want to flip it. So
It
that's the
wouldn't
best thing I
tell
can throw in there.
if the men in her community is saying that this is something that they absolutely despise and that they won't date them, and she continues to want to have a certain type of behavior, if she continues to want to do something like that, and she knows that men don't like it, then she is going to have to face those consequences when the men don't mess with her. And then she either has to change or be without. And so when you starve a problem, or when you starve the attention to a person, if the person is using that attention as validation and they're not receiving any validation from anywhere with it, then it would either force them to change or they'll have to move on to somebody who's going to accept it.
Sister
What I
George, you
feel,
guys validate each other when you do it.
Um,
Don't put it on
Yeah.
her.
What if
complex,
she
complex.
like? What if she wasn't?
Art,
Oh,
art.
hold on,
If
hold
I
on,
could
you guys.
address, if I could address complex right quick. She just said something about negative attention. You're giving it to her now.
I was going to ask though, what if she was wearing the weave based on she just likes to see what's on television, not even caring about what a guy can. It's not really thinking about hooking up or any relationship part. She just want to be like Becky or whatever it is. How do you address that?
well, if you're saying that she wants to be like somebody else and she's
Uh
not
huh.
satisfied with her own looks, that still goes down to it being a very big psychological issue. And if
Okay.
a person is not willing to go get help for their own psychological issues, that all that stuff starts from the inside. If
That's,
those problems are still at the root, if those problems are still at the root and a person is unwilling unwilling, doesn't want to, doesn't give a damn about getting help for those psychological problems, those problems are going to still continue to persist. And if those problems still continue to persist, then I wouldn't tell a man to go and do something that he doesn't want. Or even if he doesn't like it and he continues to deal with it and he's still getting some type of satisfaction out of that, then that's still going to be the onus of the man because that's what the man wants to
Oh
do.
my God.
And if what like you said, she is still not going to address her psychological needs because that starts from something that comes from inside. That starts from something at childhood. That starts at what we teach our children about self-esteem issues at childhood, what we're encouraging, how much attention we give them, even if they're not the prettiest child. Do we focus on their good qualities? Do we tell them that they're pretty? Or do we tell them that they're ugly and nobody's ever really
I
gonna
already
vet
told
them?
you what I already told you what we do. I used my daughter
Yes,
as an example.
you are one person who explained what you
Well, no,
do.
so that means the example
DC,
is out there. We don't have to ask the questions.
yes, but that's not the only example. You do have
Of course
people
it's not,
who,
but it's one that's actually here on the panel. So
yes,
I'm saying
yes,
to
that
ask the
is
question
one
is to
that's here
answer it.
on. No, sir, because two things can be true at the same time.
Oh,
And
really?
yes, sir, two things can be true at the same time.
So,
You can
okay, so
encourage,
one truth is yes, we address it. We address the children, right? We agree
yes,
on this. We agree on that.
yes,
And
yes,
we showed an example of it, i.e., my daughter. And
yes,
now the other
yes,
one,
but
the other
you are
truth
one
too, is that
person.
women can also address their deep-seated psychological issues. Now,
Yes,
what do they plan to do about that?
complex, and what I
But
keep trying,
complex, how many
let
percentage
me
of
just say this real quick. What
Mm.
I keep trying to say about that is if you have somebody that is still able to get something out of the deal, if they're still not at a point of rock bottom, they are not going to self-correct until they feel like they have no other options.
There's people like
And
Topaz, the therapists. When do they plan to go see people like Topaz?
yes, complex, and you do have a lot of women in therapy dealing with those issues, and you do have
Would you agree
um
that more need to go?
let me say this.
Okay.
Of course, I feel like the majority of people need to go seek therapy. The majority,
Okay.
I do.
I agree.
But if you have people that are just unwilling, and you still have those people raising children, some are just not gonna make it, and that's just the harsh reality of it.
But
Some are just not gonna make it.
Yeah,
okay, but guess what? You cannot blame the man. That's all I'm gonna
Yeah,
say.
I hear what. Can y'all hear
yeah,
me?
the other catch is a lot of people don't realize that they have those psychological issues that they need to go get corrected.
You got that right. Whew. You definitely got that right.
I mean, damn, Curlin. I mean, when you're putting
Can y'all
glue in your
hear me?
head, bro, like
I'm in a
something's
bad
got to.
area.
Yeah.
You got to hear you. But Curlin, I mean, it's like
Yeah,
to
can
the
y'all
point
hear
where
me?
Yeah, we
Okay.
can hear you, Art.
Got you. Got you. Yeah.
wait. Or go ahead, Art. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Art.
Art in the stall. You there?
Now he's in a bad area.
I'm going to but what
Your next
I,
tail
I'll
smoking
come
up.
back later.
Hey, yeah, he kind of coming in and out, man.
He got that next tail going
I'm,
on.
No, he's in the
I'll,
hood.
no, that's Verizon, but I'll come back later.
Damn, that's shade.
I'll come
Man.
back later.
Verizon, you should have like hella bars, dude.
I know, right? Well, shit, Verizon be fucking up down here in Houston. Hey, can I butt in for a minute, man? Because I've been
You got
sitting
it.
in
You
the
know what's
back.
good. Go ahead.
Hey, what's going on, everybody in the chat? You know, Mellow, Curlin, Sister George, Brother Game
up?
Changer, Mel, Complex. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of this, man, because I mean,
Yeah, what's going on?
what's going on, play? I'm trying to get to the bottom
Hey,
of this,
man,
man.
peace.
I'm trying to figure out what the conflict is because people are going to do what they're going to do. I mean, the women are going to do what they're going to do, and the men are going to do what they're going to do, right?
Mhm.
So, I mean, what's the conflict here? I mean, are we saying that women wearing weaves is that a fault of men? Because I don't think Sister George ever said that.
No. That's not what we're not actually arguing,
Okay.
right?
Right.
Because one, like she said two truths,
Mhm.
and I challenged it. I don't disagree, but I challenged it because one truth that she mentioned, we clearly addressed on yesterday's arts panel yesterday when I had my daughter with me.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
and I'm a widowed single father.
Okay.
Right. You see, so how she sees herself is of the utmost importance to me. Right. And I don't want her head clouded with none of this shit.
Yeah.
Because it's so deep seated, it's so deep rooted, and it's so damaging, right?
Right.
That it's like there's no way in hell I could ever let my child like succumb to that shit.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm like, dude, I always reinforce, like, no, like you are naturally beautiful. Like, damn, like this is how God put you here. Like that's you. You good.
Yeah.
There's no need for all that other shit, right? And she see the thing is, she doesn't exist in a vacuum. She sees it. She sees it, and we talk about it. She asks me questions.
Yeah.
You know, she's never seen her father with women like that. You see, so for her, it's more of a confusion thing, right? Because I already wholesale tell her, I don't like that stuff. I love your hair. Your mother had hair like yours, long, black, thick, and beautiful, right? Okay, I reinforce this. See, so it's like, okay, well, you know, apparently that's true because my dad doesn't go and take me to a stylist to go put all that crazy stuff in my hair. And I never seen him, you know, if he's ever, you know, dealt with women or something. I was ever able to observe. They never had all that. You see, so in her head, she's firm in what it is that her father finds beautiful, right? And it's someone that reflects her. Okay, now. From her observations, though, she's very confused by what she sees.
With the culture, right. With
yes.
So you're talking about the cultural programming, because I think that's a dimension of the conversations I never really thought of, because I've always said, hey, women are, you know, we've all been through the 5 stages of grief when it comes to women, right? I'm at the acceptance stage. People are gonna do what they're gonna do, right? But I didn't think about because I have a niece. I have a 10-year-old niece, right? But I never thought about, okay, you know, how could this affect the generation after me of young girls coming up? Because, you know, I guess because I don't have children personally, I'm thinking more of a selfish perspective. Like, hey, you know, if I don't want to deal with a chick if I don't want to marry a woman with a weave, I'm not gonna marry a woman with a weave, right? You know, I'll go get my passport, you know, go to Colombia, do whatever I want to do, right? But I didn't think about what about the next generation, because if I did have kids, or even, you know, I don't have kids, right? They still have to deal with that programming, and we're talking about another generation of women that are going to be confused. So I mean, that's definitely enlightening. I hadn't thought about that, to be honest.
Yeah, dude, it's like, well, shit. If I'm doing what I need to do to nip the shit in the bud, what the fuck are you guys doing? That's why I was like, okay, we can address. Let me get this last point. We can address the one side of it, the children. Yeah, right. But then, what about the very adults that my daughter's looking at? Like, huh? Go ahead, Art.
Yeah. So let me. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. So the reason why I did the panel, because we had to hear from the women, because a lot of women can address things the way that men can't, right? So we, you know, that was very important. And I think the part that we keep missing out on is that I think the guys are asking for, okay, you take the guys out of the picture, the weave issue is still there. How do you handle that without the guys? If you just take the guys away, screw in whatever it is, how do you handle the weave situation? I mean, is there any interventions, or do you just say, hey, you're just going to have to just, I mean, you gonna black peel it or anything like that, or is there a way where you can help, you know, these sisters heal and find themselves? Is like a fire extinguisher? I mean, do you consider it an emergency? You know, how do you do that if you just take the men out of the equation?
If you take the men out of the equation, then the problems have to be addressed at the base, which is the children. The problem is, and I just don't see a solution to this problem. If you're still having adults who still have a certain mindset, or excuse me, if you still have women who have a certain mindset that's raising children and they're still reinforcing the behavior, then you know, you can get to some children, you can get to the children within your family. You can give them positive reinforcement when they're wearing their natural hair. You can tell them how great their natural hair looks and how great she looks with natural hair. You can encourage certain behaviors, but the bigger issue is the women that's already indoctrinated into a certain mindset that they're not going to stop. And if a person has their mindset on something and they're not going to stop, I think until all validation of it is taken away, is when the problem won't persist. But there's still validation. But I do think that it would be on some women not to validate. And you know what? When I have my hair out, I get so many more compliments on my natural hair than I do my real hair, including from men and women. I get compliments from both. So that is still very encouraging for me to wear my
That's
real
called
hair
positive
versus my natural
validation.
hair.
Well,
But
also, she said validation for my natural hair than my real hair.
excuse me,
Huh?
from wearing, I meant from my natural hair versus the weave. I get much more validation wearing my real hair because it's mine and I actually took the time to grow it and I care for my real hair. So I get much more validation wearing my real hair than I do weave. But being that the validation is there from for some women, from some women, that still is a bigger issue, and I just don't see a solution in trying to change a grown woman. I do think that it starts at the base, and you can get if you can get to the kids and be more encouraging to the kids, then I do think that's the best solution. But as far as dealing with grown women who have their minds made up, I just don't see a solution in sight for that.
It's not
Yeah.
dealing with, it's what do they plan to do? Like, why is it that they
They
look at
don't
themselves
plan
and see
to
what
do
they
it.
see in the mirror?
Can I
They
interject?
don't.
And we just
So
gotta leave them alone.
Can I interject?
She makes a
No, I
Oh,
point.
do. We
Oh, let
know
me
we
make
got
a
to leave
point.
them
Let me
alone.
make this point.
Yeah.
Like she said, leave them alone. Don't pay attention to them no more.
yeah, let me
Take our
interject.
attention away. I say it all the time. Women are like Kryptonians. Why they so over eager the way they are? Because as much as you want to say men should take responsibility, yes, we gotta take some responsibility for this. They do the things we do for our attention, and there's some simps
We
out there
got that
that
point,
keep
though.
constantly giving validation so much.
We
There
got
you
that
We
point.
go.
got some females out there that hype them up so much also too. So
Yeah,
my
Right.
situation, leave them alone. Don't pay
let me
attention to them.
let me interject
So
here for
they're
let me
gonna try harder,
uh-oh.
and we still have to ignore them. Look at the big example of that is Lizzo. Her fat ass is trying so damn hard for male attention the
Damn.
way she is, but dudes are still hyping her up.
We we
Leave
we,
her
we,
alone. Stop showing that attention. You see,
we
when
know we
fat
know
move
this.
now, be giving attention
We
to
know all
women
this.
and shit, and
Hey,
some point giving her a little bit of attention. So that's boosting her ego up. So
hey, I,
leave her
hey,
alone.
I ain't gonna,
Ignore
hey,
her.
I
Go
ain't,
ahead, Gino.
hey, I ain't gonna lie. I'm trying to validate. What's that chick name? Melinda Gates right now. I'm trying to get that bag, man. Level up.
See, another example who she is. Like, just she
um
not the most
All
dominant
right.
can
woman in
can
the
I
world,
say
but
Can,
everybody
can,
something
make her feel like
real
she's the shit.
can I
Okay.
get a word in after
That's
Sister
why she
George?
was acting
Go
the
ahead,
way
bro.
Yeah,
she did.
yeah. I'm
Go ahead,
gonna get
Bronson.
in that.
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Now as far as accountability, um this is what I'm trying to understand when men say take accountability.
Mhm.
Me as a woman who wears my real hair majority of the time, I feel like that's me taking my accountability. You can hold other women's feet to the fire to a certain extent,
Mhm.
but if women aren't trying to have sex with me,
But
versus having sex with you, I'm not gonna give a woman sex. You are.
It's not
Then
about
women
that.
want to.
can I respond to that? Can I respond to that, please?
Bronson's
Let's-
gonna. Bronson's gonna
Okay.
go.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
My bad.
Go ahead.
Actually, you finished?
Go ahead.
I wasn't. I was just saying
Go
that
ahead. Go ahead.
with the accountability thing, yeah, I can take accountability for things that happen within the frame that I can reach. I have conversations and different conversations on my channel all the time, and we talk about I don't know if we've necessarily had the weave conversation,
Okay.
but we've talked about certain issues that Black women have and issues that are to us. But at the same time, if you still have a person that's giving people validation and they have psychological issues, then I really don't know what to do about that. And I'm asking you guys, what would the solution be to a person that's not going to change? What would that solution be? What does that look like to you?
That's it. Leave them alone.
I
All
can
right.
answer that
Wait.
question.
Oh,
I'll answer that
whoa,
question.
whoa.
The
What
solution
the
to
hell?
the solution to dealing with a person that refuses to change is to see in what way they can benefit you. Exploit them as much as you possibly can, and then enjoy the benefits of that exploitation.
Oh shit.
What? Okay.
Nah,
Can I
like I
get
said,
in? Can
Sister
I get
George,
in?
leave them
Hold
Okay,
on.
alone.
Okay.
Bronson,
Hold on. Can I
wait,
get
wait,
in?
wait, wait,
example,
Wait, wait.
for example,
Can I
right?
get in? Can I get
Hold on.
in? Can
Let
I get
Bronze
in?
go,
Can I
y'all.
get
Let
in?
Bronze
Can I
go.
get
Yes,
in? Please.
yes. Let me finish. Let me finish what I was saying.
I was supposed to
Apparently
go
there was
next.
You're supposed to go next, though,
Yeah,
man.
you
Oh,
I
interjected.
let you talk.
she posed a question to everybody, but go ahead. And I was answering it, but go ahead.
Go ahead, game changer.
All right, thank you. So, for example, say you have a Burger King, right? And you have some employees, Now, some of the Black employees, you want to see them get promoted to assistant manager, or even work in the fries. However, they're washing lettuce. Now, they are the crappiest lettuce washers that you have. However, they come cheap. So you can either, attempt to convince them. And then when you do, they say, well, you're still paying me to wash lettuce. It's like, okay. And that person will wash lettuce for the rest of their life. And you just make the profits working at Burger King off of their stupid ass. I think that is the best solution to the problem that we can come up with.
And soon you will be on fries.
No, they'll never be on fries. They'll never be on fries because they're shitty at washing lettuce. They will wash lettuce for the rest of their life, and then they'll just say, "At least I'm getting a paycheck," because they're stupid like that. So embrace their stupidity. Embrace their stupidity.
So
because the hole in their vagina will soon be parted.
Let's go. Let Bronze go.
Okay, so I'm just trying to understand it for what it is. So this is my viewpoint on it. Now, I understand where Complex is coming from. I think what we're getting at is about the presentation, because she's going to be someone who's going to be a strong Black woman one day. She's going to be out in society. She's going to have to deal with the conventions of society. So, and, just to how I see with my family, like my little sister, you know what I'm saying? Like, she has to grow up one day and see how it is in the world. So my thing about it is, yes, that I feel like the seed needs to be planted. It could be on the parents, but the parents have the option of showing them every chance they get. This is what a very beautiful Black woman looks like. If you want them to be reared in the direction, like, okay, we like looking at women with natural hair. You have the books out there nowadays, the children books where it's by Black women authors. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have the books like, look at my hair. Oh, my father did my hair, and this, that, and third. I've seen it so many times. And of course, they have the hashtag Black Girl Magic and all these different things. Now, to my thing, my thing is me being who I am, right? The girls that I like to date. Like I told y'all earlier, I like dealing with women who have natural hair. So my thing about it is, in order to get the attention of them, Don't start, bro. But I know what he's talking about. He a fool. But what I start to think is, if more of us, because I don't know if this is gonna go into the high value or low value conversation. I'm not talking about finances. I'm talking no. I'm not talking about finances. I'm talking about if they're trying, because you hear a lot of the times women are saying, "Oh, I don't like dealing with broke niggas," or "I don't like dealing with these low level ass men," because those are the men who are low frequency and pay them attention. Once they start to realize, I'm sick and tired of dealing with those low frequency men, and they notice that the high frequency men, such as myself or brothers on this panel, go for the women that have the natural hair, women are going to be naturally competitive and jealous. The fact of the matter that the girls with the natural hair is getting more attention. So it's more than likely that a woman is going to assimilate to wanting to possibly see what it's like to have the natural hair. So I think if you really understand it, if you really understand where I'm coming from.
At 38?
I understand.
Brother, listen. Because at the end of the day, we're making this argument, but it comes down to one thing. A lot of these women cannot be saved. They will not listen, right? If you put the advice out there
amongst weeds.
Hold on.
They belong to the streets.
Okay, y'all gotta stop. Just hear where I'm coming from, bro. We come to the solution. A lot of women cannot be saved. All right, you can't. There's nothing you can do about that. Only the women who ascribe to wanting to listen to people like Sister George, Topaz, and other women. Those are the women who's probably of value to you and the women of your caliber. That's why I don't really pay no attention. Now, I might diss. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I don't like city girls, for example. I don't like them. But if I ever seen them type of girls in the streets, I'm gonna ignore their ass because I don't want to date them.
How do you plant seeds amongst weeds?
That's a fact.
Even if she put it on you, Bronsberg.
I'm sorry. Wait.
Come on, y'all.
Bro, I don't want to deal with them, bro. Like, I'm just good off that. But I mean, my bad. Complex, you asked me a question.
I said, how do you plant seeds amongst weeds? I'm a gardener. How do you get seeds to grow among weeds?
But he
Hopefully
just said
do.
he just said something that I just said earlier. Leave him alone. Stop
No,
bringing
dude,
attention.
It has to,
we
bro.
that's the
I'm
I
whole
said,
sorry,
point.
y'all niggas.
but to
We
be real
know,
with
we
you,
know.
but
Keep him, keep him
One
alone.
at a
sorry,
time,
but to
y'all.
be
One at
real
a
with you, but
time.
bro, it
Leave him
has to be a
alone
fight
I
or
because
don't
he
flight
fuck
just
with him.
said
mentality.
he
One
does
at a
not want
I
time.
already,
one.
yeah,
But
Leave him
like
alone
but
about
when
it.
you're
complex,
done,
to be
get
real
it
with you,
done,
bro.
bro.
But complex, to be real with you, bro, it has to come to a point. It is a fight or flight mentality, bro. Like you can
Yeah.
only allow what you allow. That's why I'm
Well,
saying
but
you're already doing a
Bronx,
good job. You're already doing a
right,
good job as a parent because you want your daughter to envision things a different way. You're teaching her a way that she should
yeah.
learn how to appreciate herself. You know,
But
you can't
Bronx,
blame it on other parents if they're not doing their job. So
no, Bronx.
obviously that
The point
yeah, go ahead.
is
My fault.
that it can't be a reflection on the men at the end of the day, dude. That's what we
Right.
keep. It keeps coming to that. And the thing about it is that look, as men, nah, man, we got to be mirrors, dude, and reflect that shit back and be like, no, stop, sis. It starts and stops with you. That's
Right.
see,
But
that's where I'm at. That's where I'm like, I don't want to hear all this. Ignore them, blah 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 blah. Man, we already know all that
But
shit. We're
complex,
but
you're
talking.
if
trying to
you
We're
prove that
starve
right
them
talking
now.
about. Wait,
attention,
wait. We're
but
talking about a deeper cultural issue that impacts our children. So we've already established one truth. Start with the kids. We good on that. We're Gucci. Hey, everybody agreed here, right? And that's what we're doing, right?
Yeah,
right.
yeah, I
But
agree with
I
see,
that.
agree.
like I said, you cannot grow seeds amongst weeds. So what we gonna do with this weed issue?
But
Or let me say
complex,
this.
you're
Let me
kind
say
of
this.
doing that
Let me
right
say this. Let me
now.
say this. Let me say
Hold
I'm
on.
gonna
Can I?
find
You're
another
almost doing
section
that
in
right
God in
now.
my
You
brother.
wait,
are,
I
wait,
don't
you
know.
are
Whoa,
endorsing.
wait.
whoa,
No, you still got to clear
Hey,
shit
can
out,
I
man.
say something now?
What's
whoa.
Can I
What's up,
say
Smooth?
something?
What's up, Smooth? I didn't appreciate that little
up?
diss, little.
What up,
Nah,
Smooth?
Smooth be trolling, man.
Bag lady, go
Hey,
complain.
can I try to bridge something real quick, y'all? Real quick, because 2 points. I know Sister George said this, and this is going to relate to what Complex is saying. She was saying, well, she doesn't have sex with these women, right? So the point I want to bring up is that to acknowledge something, women are very good and are skilled when it comes to shame and social pressure. And I think that's where Complex is having a bit of a frustration because we can all take the Darwinistic approach or the black pill approach in that, okay, let's ignore them, right? Which is what I advocate, right? But I see
What
where
I
he's
do?
coming from in the sense of, well, I can ignore them and I can do the best that I can to curate my home environment so that my daughter sees, women with natural hair, beautiful afros, and all this and all that. But when she goes to school, there's going to be significant cultural and social pressure into degeneracy.
Thank you.
And I think the only solution at this point to address Brother Complex is honestly, brother, there's really nothing you can do but to hyper curate your environment. Unless you want to
Yeah.
try to homeschool your child, which I know that
Well,
can
no,
be
I mean,
that
dude,
can't.
now we're like on the bit of the extremes, right?
Yeah, we are. We
Right.
are.
And so it's
No,
like
but if it solves the problem, then you got to do it.
well, no. It's
No,
already
let's not do that.
look,
Let's not do that. Let's
the
not do
way
that.
that he
Come on.
already touched on it. You solve the problem by curating your own home environment, right? Because
Exactly.
that's the one place where you do have complete autonomy is in
Yeah.
your own home, right? And then
Especially-
there's the outside world where you encounter the people who look like you, right?
Mhm.
But you're in your natural frame and they've got some sort of aberration going on. And if the number of people that have an aberration going on outnumbers the people who reflect what you look like in your original state,
Mhm.
as a child, you start to get curious and confused about things, right?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
this is where the parentage comes in. And I'm saying, okay, well, look, I can hold it down in my home. Make no mistake.
Mhm.
However, we're still not looking at the larger picture here, right? Because, like you just said, all she has to do is go to school. She's going to go later,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cultural
right?
pressure.
And yeah, it's sort of like, okay, you get out into the world and you're in elementary school. Then you get to junior high school. Now the kids are starting to hit puberty,
Yeah.
right? Then the boys start showing preferences, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
See, I'm seeing it now.
Yeah, see, there's a long
Yeah,
see
seeing
that
it.
see, if you're so short-sighted about how to fix a problem, then guess what you'll never do? Come up with a solution that ensures that it'll remain so in the long term. So that's the problem. It's very short-sighted.
Let me give
Yeah.
y'all a big
Very
picture.
short-sighted as people.
I'm gonna
Sir.
give y'all a big picture.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna throw some names out there.
All right.
Beyonce,
Mhm.
Cardi B, Michelle Obama.
Mhm.
Who else? Don't help me out. all a lot of these women I'm throwing out are
Kelly
like women of
Rowland.
Condoleezza
yeah.
Rice.
These are women of high influence, but yet they rocking this weave. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? These are so the thing is that if I had a daughter,
Mm-hmm.
what would you say? Hey, okay, well, I know you like celebrities, baby, but here's somebody that you can look forward to as far as your future. This is someone of influence. If you run into her, I'm quite sure. My whole thing is it's like everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't so just the fact that you're just not dating them is bigger than that. It's
Can I
huge.
can I
Yeah, it is.
interject something real quick?
Go ahead.
And I'll give a prime example of something that I saw and I witnessed for myself.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of men didn't find Serena Williams attractive as a teen when she was rocking her natural hair. There was another girl that was a gymnast who also rocked her natural hair at one point, and everybody made fun of her.
No, the women made fun
Well,
of her.
no, no, it was men as well because I witnessed it
But
for
if they
myself.
ugly, then they ugly.
Oh,
Oh, come
It
on,
okay,
doesn't
smooth,
matter
smooth,
if
okay,
you're
smooth, smooth,
okay.
smooth,
natural or you got weave, yo.
smooth.
Yo,
Come
why
on,
y'all
man, come
keep
on.
saying smooth? I ain't even gotten the word out. What the fuck, nigga?
That's Gino.
I ain't even
Smooth
said
is not
nothing yet, yo.
smooth. Yeah, you're
Okay,
not.
I'm just saying if you're ugly, you ugly. I gotta go though. I
mhm,
gotta go. I'll be back.
All right,
okay.
bye.
Um, Even with the chick being a person can't change certain features on their body unless they go get plastic surgery or do things to enhance themselves. But I'll tell you what wasn't being reinforced. The fact that Serena had her natural hair and she wore beads on it. I didn't hear a lot of people saying, "Oh, that's really cute." You know what? Her hair is really cute. All I heard was she ugly and she needs to do something with her hair. Now, of course, the hair part didn't come from men, but I'm saying that the behavior wasn't reinforced, that she wore her natural hair and that she was a natural chick. That wasn't being reinforced by anybody in our society.
They got it
And
up.
Serena
But
Williams,
that
let
she
me
wasn't
finish.
built for her
Let me
confidence, is
finish
what you're
my
saying.
point.
That wasn't
Let me
her.
finish my
She
point.
wasn't a hair model. She's a
Let me
tennis player.
finish.
Hold on,
But
let
Let
her
me
still,
finish
finish.
my
let her
point.
Hold,
finish. Sister,
hold
let
on,
her
y'all.
Let
Hold
me
on, let her
finish my
finish. Let her
point.
finish.
I'm saying that the her being naturally who she was not reinforced. And there are certain things that a person cannot change if they're born a certain way. If you're
Mm-hmm.
born with not attractive nose or what people deem as unattractive, or if you're born with a certain type of hair that most people don't like to deal with,
Mm-hmm.
certain behaviors are not or weren't reinforced with her as a child. And so I'm saying, like, even when we have stars that are natural, those stars don't even get the attention and the validation from people within
They're a
our own
star. They're
community.
obviously getting attention. What are you talking about? And
I'm
Serena
But she
Williams
saying,
got
making a
attention.
point though,
okay,
just like she
I'll give you
said.
another example.
They're
I'll give
making the
you
money the
another.
way they are
Let me
because
No,
let me
dude.
people
let
are
me
She
giving
give
them
said
you
money.
Serena Williams. She got a
let me give
Serena.
you
People paid
another
attention to
example.
Serena because
Let
she's
me
a
give you
phenomenal tennis player, not because
let
she's
me
a
give
hair
you
model.
Hold
okay,
Let
on,
it
let me
get
y'all.
it
give you
out,
another
guys.
example.
Yeah,
Let
hold
me
on.
give you another example. India Irie was a natural sister. India Irie didn't get the same attention as, let's just say, a Kelly Rowland, and Kelly Rowland wears weave.
Mm-hmm.
India Irie will be looked over, looked past. Nobody really pays. They'll say, well, she can sing. She has a really nice voice, but they don't give her the attention and same admiration as someone like, let's say, Kelly Rowland. And Kelly Rowland does things to enhance herself. Kelly Rowland also had a nose job. So I'm saying, like, it's a bigger problem with all of us within society, not just black women, because a lot of us don't reinforce the good behaviors that we like to see in black women, and we like our things enhanced. A lot of us do, and I think that's a bigger issue as well.
I
Complex,
think
the
the part.
solution, complex design, the solution to the problem, and the rest of the fellas is to not fuck Kelly Rowland.
Oh
I
God.
think that by not fucking Kelly Rowland, that somehow will solve the problem. And she won't get the nose job and stuff like that because of the money that
Mm-hmm.
she makes from being a pop star. She'll just stop broke with our penis in her.
And here the other part
That's a
about
fact.
Y'all losing it.
those particular women that you named, from the word on the street, supposedly, is that
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't that guys weren't checking for them. They were
Mm-hmm.
very particular on what kind of guys they wanted. There were guys checking for them, but that's
No,
what they
no,
didn't
no.
want.
Let's keep it a buck. When Serena got older, there were way more men calling her unattractive and ugly and saying she looked like a monkey and she looked manly and that she was plain old ugly. And I've been hearing that about Serena. It's not the fact that she was not getting any sort of validation, but I will definitely say she got more validation as she started to put things in her hair. The same thing with Kelly Rowland. Kelly Rowland did not get any attention when Destiny's Child was coming about. She didn't get the attention of Beyonce or nearly the same type of attention of Beyonce until she got a little older and she started to do things that more enhanced her. But she didn't get the same attention when she was, even when she was rocking her short natural hair.
So you
She
guys are
didn't
all
get the
viewing the
same
But it
realities
goes
of
attention.
back. It goes back
celebrities.
to what I was saying.
Christ.
Who was giving the attention? Because there were some attention that was for the negative on the negative side, but there was attention that were on the positive.
But
Yeah.
Exactly.
she received more negative attention than she received positive attention. And it was the same way with Serena. Serena received more negative attention than she received positive attention. She still received attention, but it was majority negative.
I mean, like for example, Simone Biles, right? Uh, Gymnastics. I mean, top of her game.
Yeah.
Who was criticizing her?
That was actually women, if I didn't remember correctly. A lot of women talking about her hair.
A lot of women.
Yeah, I know some the few dudes who were
Yeah.
talking about her
So,
hair were like moist.
Look.
so,
Oh God, I'm sorry.
so my whole thing is that even though these are celebrities,
Yeah.
India Arie, I believe she did have a good crack at the dating pool when she first started.
Hmm.
I think she dated a few athletes.
Yep.
And I believe didn't Serena date Common?
Yeah.
Hmm. I think
And
I think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
what did she have a weave then? I don't know. If you can tell
Mhm.
me.
Well,
She was
either way, it's
athletic and
kind of like
everything.
it's like you have the positive validation, you have the negative validation, and then they bitch and
Mhm.
moan if they literally get no attention. It's like
Well,
fuck, pick one.
okay. Let me at least address one thing. I think with Serena Williams, I'm not sure if brothers were talking about her hair. I kind of doubt that. But the thing is women and men compete differently with each other, right? Men, we have to have six figures and all this and all that. And the unfortunate reality for Serena Williams is that she didn't win the genetic lottery. I think that's the best way I can put it. So, and we're all. What was
What
that?
did you say, Serena?
She did. I mean, on a facial level.
So let
Go
me
ahead.
ask you this question,
Wait,
Gino.
hold on.
If
I
a
want to hear
chick,
what he said about
Go ahead.
Serena.
I'm
Go
What'd you
ahead.
say?
sorry.
Go ahead.
No. What did you
Okay,
say about Serena, bro?
I
She
said
didn't win
that.
a genetic lottery.
I said on a facial level, she didn't. She wasn't really competitive in regards to genetic lottery. But go ahead,
Okay,
Sister
but
Joe.
the other way, the
okay,
argument about Serena Williams though is that nobody looked at her as the standard of beauty. See, that's my problem. Why are you propping her up as some sort of standard of beauty when what it was that people recognized her for was her tennis playing prowess?
Yeah.
That is the reason why she gets attention. Stop trying to prop her up as the standard of beauty just because she gets attention.
Hold
She
on.
gets
Wait.
I'm not.
attention because
Let
she's a phenomenal tennis player.
Hold on,
Okay,
bro.
so
Hold on.
so then when you talk about the standard of beauty
Hmm.
and you go back to those psychological issues
Hmm.
and you go back to what women feel like they have to do to get attention and they feel like they have to do to get certain types of validation,
Hmm.
then it does come back to a standard of beauty and what we're teaching our children. But you have somebody who says just call them ugly and let them face the harsh realities of life and
Hmm.
let them just deal with it. And if they happen to get somebody cool, if they don't, fuck them.
Okay.
Let me
And
let me
so
Let,
start.
it
let's
does
let's let's
become a
Hold
also
on.
bigger
compare the
issue.
females
Hold
back
on.
in the '70s
Hold
up
on.
until now.
Can I
What's
ask
the
a
big
question?
total difference with their
Can I,
beauty
can I
back
ask
then and
one
now?
question, Sister George? Was that your response to me?
Yes, sir. I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay. No.
But
That's what
I
you wanted
think
to
let
say to
me
me.
let me try to
Go ahead.
make sense. Let me
Go ahead.
make sense. So basically,
Making
because
sure.
I think we don't want to miss out on what she's saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we were talking about the standard of beauty. So
Hmm.
the fact that Serena, and don't laugh, Serena looked a lot like her dad. I mean, a
Yeah, she did.
whole like really like her father, the features
She
and
did.
everything.
Yeah, she
All she
did.
had to, if she grew a mustache, she'd be her pops, right?
Come on, man.
So
I
the
was trying to
thing
be
is,
nice.
I mean, she like her pops, which is on the real.
Yeah.
So the thing is that okay, in order to take that away, then maybe I can put some stuff in my hair or some weave or whatever
Yeah.
to enhance me, so you won't pay more attention to my face. Is
Right.
that what you're saying, Sister George?
That's partially a thing. Because
Yeah.
like I said, women do think that they look better with certain hairstyles. Most women think that they look better with long hair. Now texture wise, I don't even know what to say about the texture because the texture is just fucking beyond. But women do think they look better certain ways, and if they're getting the attention from it, whether it's negative or positive, it's still attention from it, and it's still somebody who would stick their dick in them, to validate that attention. And
Oh,
so,
respect that. Yeah.
like I said, you can start with the kids. You can definitely start with the kids. The kids should definitely be gotten to. But when you're talking about adult women who still feel like they're getting everything that they want until it gets later on in life and they do die alone, that's only when women start to face the harsh realities of life that, well, yeah, maybe I should have listened to this, maybe I should have did this, maybe I wouldn't be alone now if I had just did this. But and if you still have attention and validation and she's still able to make her own money, that's going to be her attitude. I'll do whatever the fuck it is I want
Hey, Sister
because
George, I
I'm
have a
still
question.
able
So
to get
after
whatever it is I want
so,
out of
so
life.
after she did all that stuff with her hair, I mean, i.e. weave or whatever,
Yeah.
and pretty much made her, and she felt a certain way where she felt like very comfortable. Who did she wind up marrying?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Good
An
point.
entire white man.
Good
Yeah.
point. Trey.
hmm
That's
So
true.
I
Then,
mean,
A
it
rich
was
white man
something else.
behind that.
It was something else that I just wanted to touch on really quickly, and then
Mhm.
I'm gonna probably hop down.
Okay.
Yesterday they were saying like, oh, okay, well, men don't like it, and I'm still like, I'm engaged, so I follow a lot of black bride pages on Instagram.
Hmm.
I happened to go back last night and look at those black bridal pages, and I would say 98% of those women had weave in their hair while they were taking
wow.
wedding photos and
Hmm.
going down the aisle.
Hmm.
So, to be
The
honest,
Cinderella
men,
Princess complex.
Yeah.
yeah,
There's
but
still a
if
market for
not,
it.
if like I said, if men don't like it, and they're still getting the validation, and they're still getting rings, and they're still getting the things that they want out of life,
Yeah.
and they're doing something that you don't like,
Hmm.
then I really don't know what to say because it 98%. And one of the pages I follow is called Weddings on Point. If
Yeah.
you guys go and actually look at that page, you'll see what I'm talking about. And it's
Okay.
mostly black women, but most of those black women had weaves in their hair, featured in their wedding photos. And so it still doesn't discourage a certain type of behavior.
Are they marrying black men
Yes,
or okay?
majority were marrying black men.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Sister
Majority of
George, I
marriages
asked
are
you
black
something.
marriages,
What
are black
about the
men,
women
black
back in
women,
the
black women.
70s? Most of them
oh,
acting natural, like the Pam Grier's, the Bernadine
Yeah,
Sings,
yeah, but
I
versus the
I,
most
I
females
still
of now, of the Cardi B's and the Meg Thee Stallions, and they're wearing weaves and body enhancements and all that mess. And
now
the
I
one back in
do
the
think
70s was way more beautiful than the one that they are now.
they are way more beautiful. Not nearly as big. Um, but I think men probably I don't even know. I'm not even gonna say that men held more of a standard because I don't want to be incorrect in saying that. I don't
Mhm.
know. I don't know what happened. I think that well, I do know what happened. I think when the fathers ended up being put out of the home
Mhm.
and you didn't have positive male reinforcement
Yeah.
and women were left to their own devices,
Bingo.
I
Yeah.
think
That's
Bingo.
where it's at.
that became the bigger issue.
Yeah. Independent households. Yeah.
Sister George, what's the name of that bridal page?
It's called Weddings on Point, and it's on Instagram.
Instagram. Okay.
Oh, and Sister George, did you get that $25 yet?
No, I want my money and I'm waiting on Edward. So
All right, and speaking of money, real quick.
$25.
Speaking of money, real quick, I want to say thank you so much, Kit Clouds, for the Cash App donation. I really
Mhm.
appreciate it. And thank you so much, Classy Young Man. I appreciate it. Hold on, let me read the other one.
Mhm.
And thank you for the Cash App donation, Fahim Divine. I appreciate you. He says, showing support for your channel. Thank you.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Yeah. So
I mean, I
I mean,
appreciate.
I think
I appreciate you humoring my point, because I mean it is a competition, and if, yeah, I mean if dudes are marrying these women with weaves, I mean that's the current marketplace. I mean, there's really
yeah.
nothing more I could say.
But I'm trying to get to the bottom of it away. I mean, I did touch on relationships,
Mm-hmm.
but like I said, we talking about corporate America, we talking about academia,
Mm-hmm.
we're talking about social circles.
Yep.
I
Same.
mean, because when you mention the word standard of beauty,
Uh-huh.
whose standard? It ain't ours.
Mm,
It's somebody else's.
well.
So that's the part, that we have to have that discussion, because again, if you
Mm-hmm.
have a daughter, and the
Mm-hmm.
thing is, she ain't gonna be with you 24/7 when she start getting older. She's gonna be going to school and going to other places. So you're gonna be competing with their advice versus yours, their influences versus yours as
Yours,
as a
yeah.
father or a mother. So this is the stuff that needs to be really worked on as we get into this discussion. So I was hoping that I had that panel to where women have different solutions, or different, and the only solution was based on the relationship piece. But we need
No,
something more from the psychological part, dealing with the powers that be.
Agreed. And also, the only solution could come from the men. It was very bizarre that a conversation about a woman's issue was the solution was men. That was very weird.
Yeah, it's probably a piece of it, but I think, like I said, if you remove the men, the problem's still going to be there.
Exactly.
So
I mean, because basically what you would have, and fellas, tell me if you would enjoy this situation,
mhm.
is you would have a woman who you constantly have to sexually abstain from just to keep in line. So let's just say that this does work, right? You take away the dick, and then they change their hair. You would have to do this for each and every single psychological issue that they come up with. You're dealing with a being that cannot function themselves. You constantly have to whip a dick on them. Um, like, would that is that the situation you would have be in? Like, I mean,
I think on a realistic
you're
level.
basically exchanging problems. Like, okay, now she has natural hair, and she still has the deep psychological issues that led to her having fake hair to begin with. It's
Yeah.
just that now she's doing it for the dick.
Yeah. See, I think that's the thing that somebody brought this up earlier. Like, that's unrealistic. This whole, like, for example, I said in the chat earlier, like, look, a lot of men, like, for example, I wouldn't marry a bigger chick, right? But if a chick came through and she got juicy breasts and she got a cute face for the night, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean?
Well,
So it's unrealistic. It's unrealistic to go ahead.
this is
Go
what
ahead.
I'll say. It's not just for the dick.
Mhm.
It's for what a man actually provides to a woman.
Mhm.
A man that takes care of the house, a man that's responsible, a man that's
Mhm.
loving, a man that's loyal, a
Mhm.
man that is a good man. So it's not only dick, it's taking the benefits that actually that come from having a man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if the response is, but
The
you still
marriage.
fuck her, it's about the dick. What was you saying,
Well,
Junior?
Yeah.
what I'm
Hold
saying
on.
to you,
Ah,
if you're talking about psychological issues, and
Mhm.
these are psychological issues, these are deep rooted, deep seated issues that she has.
Mhm.
Um, if you're not marrying her and you're not giving her that validation and marrying her and actually taking her serious for committed relationship, and
Mhm.
she is still doing those things, what she is saying to herself, and this is the mindset of a lot of black women,
mhm.
okay, you know what? I got a job and I make $70,000 a year.
Mhm.
So I make really good money.
Yeah.
I know I'm in debt, but I'm still able to go out and get me a fairly decent car. So
Mhm.
she got her 2004 used Lexus. It's still foreign though. Um, I'm able to go down to
Did you say 2014?
No, she said
no
oh 04.
Oh,
2004.
four. Damn.
So
It's,
she's
it's,
still
it's,
able to get her Lexus. She's still able to wear her weave comfortably. She can go sit at her house while she is alone. She can call up. She can go swipe right on Tinder. She can go and get her some dick real quick.
But
What
Miss
she is
Sister
telling
George,
herself,
Just too many
what she's
options.
telling herself. Let me finish my point. What she's telling
Sorry.
herself is, I'm able to be satisfied. I have the money, quote unquote. I have my car. I have my apartment or condo. I have my kids. I have friends that are around me. And she tells herself that men don't matter. She doesn't need men for um she doesn't need a man to remember her birthday. She doesn't need a man to play in her real hair. Um, she takes this shit out on her kids, and it is a psychological issue that persists because she is still able to get certain things from men. If she's able to get dick from men, whether she has to pay for it or not, she's still able to get what she feels like she needs. And then she'll tell herself, you know what? I don't have to deal with these niggas. These niggas don't do anything but lie, cheat, and dog me out any fucking way. So I'm still
but
able to get what I want, and I'm still able to live the life that I want to live. And the consequences, she doesn't generally face all of those consequences until she is absolutely alone.
I
And
couldn't
that's
disagree with you
Okay.
more, Miss
So,
Sister
so,
George.
so,
I couldn't
so,
disagree with you more
fellas,
there.
fellas, if
Hold
I
on,
may
y'all.
respond, fellas,
Hold
please, if
on.
I may respond.
Oh,
Okay. So, I want everybody here to take that exact same woman,
all right.
and then I want you to take the dick away. I want you to take the Tinder dick away, and then she changes her hair. But everything else about this woman is exactly the same. Do you want to deal with the woman of that particular mindset?
Nope.
No.
Exactly. So basically, if you take the dick away, she's gonna be the same fucked up chick just with natural hair. So now the solution to fucked up chicks is for them to not be fucked up chicks. However, they assume that the solution is take the dick away and the real hair will come. So you'll just have a fucked up chick with real hair.
GC, then this is what I propose to you.
Don't propose anything to me. Just tell them to stop being fucked up. There's nothing. It's no,
You
no, no,
might
no,
go
no, no.
next.
Understand? It's not on
Let
me.
me ask
Hold
you a
down,
question.
No
GC.
It's
Come on,
not
y'all.
Let
on
me
me.
let me GC, okay, it's not on you. So let me just ask you this. If that chick is still fucked up and she is still, the only thing she changed was her natural hair because she wanted some dick, and she was still fucked up, and you know that she was still fucked up, then do you continue and you're saying that you would continue to fuck her, but you're still not doing anything. I'm saying that she does face consequences, but those consequences are not going to be in the short term. Those consequences that she faces not going to be until later on in life when she is alone. And I would say that would still be a win-win on the men because you're still able to get sex from her, and you don't want the commitment from her. So all she's getting is dick, which is what you wanted to fuck her. She wanted to fuck you. Fair exchange isn't robbery, right?
But that's why I was doing
Um,
it earlier. Hold on, let me say. That's why I was doing it earlier. Ignore them. Leave them alone. Just like he said, take the dick away from her. Don't give her nothing. Stop giving her attention. And she's still gonna be fucked up. So now it's up to her and even some of her female friends to put her in her place and realize you're really fucked up. You ain't getting no dick. You ain't getting no attention from men. Because most likely she's gonna lose that same attention towards her fellow females. And now they're gonna put her in her place. And now
okay,
it's gonna really
okay.
hit her even hard.
So apparently, the solution that's being proposed is to take away the dick, and she'll still be psychologically fucked up. You'll just deny yourself pleasure, and you didn't actually solve the problem. You just put masking tape over it. Like
What
Yeah, that was
about
the
the
point I was
kids?
gonna mention.
she's still psychologically fucked up.
But
And
What about the
for
kids?
whatever reason, the solution to her psychological ficticity is somehow begins with black men. I love
no,
it when
no,
they do
no, no,
that.
no, no.
I
The
say, what about the
solution
kids?
is
And it's like, take the dick away. What
Hold on,
about
yeah,
the
y'all.
kids? Take the dick away.
yeah.
Hold
So what I keep going back
This is
to
always going to be, how can black men solve my problems?
is
Hey,
Jesus
not how
Christ.
black men are
That's
going
why I
to solve.
said, don't
No,
give
no,
her no
no.
attention. Stop giving her
Let me
Jesus
the
say
Christ.
D.
this. Let
one at
me
a
say
time,
this.
y'all.
it's not black men just take the dick away and that's going to solve the problem. What comes along with taking commitment away, what comes along with taking your whole self away from a problem, will cause somebody to look and start to face the problem. But as long as they're still able to get certain things, they have the money. Women are less dependent on men because women are able to go out and make their own money. They're able to have children. If she's still able to have children, children are still a sort of validation for a woman. It's still it's a thing.
Yeah.
If she's still able to make money and have children, if she's still able to get her affirmative
Mago
action
next,
job,
guys.
if she's still
Yeah.
able to
I'm gonna
get
go
her
after you,
affirmative
Toxic.
action job, then
Yeah.
she is still getting everything that she wants out of life but the man. But if she's still able to tell, if she's still able, who is that? If
That's
she's
never.
still able to get the man and she's still able to get some dick out of it,
Dick.
everything in her life is still being validated at some point. And when you
Oh,
validate,
it's
Dick.
Mago,
Okay,
guys.
once
Hold
again,
on,
fellas.
Game Pager. Hold on,
fellas-
hold on. Let's Sir Tice go. Let's Sir Tice go.
Hey, good morning, everyone.
Good
Art,
Hold on,
morning.
sir.
smooth,
Peace, Chief.
smooth. My man from Michigan,
What's
Gino,
up?
complex, long time no
What's going
see.
on? What's going on,
Shout
brother?
out, yeah, shout out GC and Miss Melody. Thanks for letting me up. And good morning to you, Miss Sister George. Miss Sister George, everything you said was basically kind of the equivalent of you're kind of rationalizing band-aids of sorts, or you're saying, well, she's still able to get this. That's sort of like a drug addict that's still able to get a fix, okay?
Oh,
It's
God.
still not resolving the inner issue. So just because you're able to acquire something for temporary usage doesn't mean it's actually solving the long-term issue, okay?
I said
And by the
that.
way, okay, yeah, but you are hammering on the point. Well, she's able to get these surface things, and until she ends up with a cat, it's not a big deal. And I'm telling you, it
It's
is a big
not.
deal. No, no,
It's
no,
not
it
to
is a big
her.
deal because we don't. No, 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 no. We don't know what she does outside of those after those 2 hours of pleasures when she gets the N words that she
You know
wants to
what
mess
she
with.
does?
Okay.
You know what
No,
she
hold,
does?
hold
You
on.
know
Let me.
what she does?
This is.
She
I'm
sits
not.
there. She
That's not the
sits
point.
there
That's
and she sits there and she cries.
you're rash. Right.
Because
Exactly.
she
Exactly.
sits there and she cries because nobody is taking her serious for the long term, and she's able to get dick, and she goes to a further depression. And what people tend to take on vices when they get further depressed. So she continues to do the same bullshit that didn't get her anywhere in the first place. And so, what do you as a man do when you know that you have somebody that's unwilling to change, wants to do whatever it is that they want to do? They're not going to change for you. That has to be something that happens from within. And so to speed up the process for these changes that you want to see happening within for you, you
Sister George,
So,
you
so
keep
Right.
basically,
hold,
But
hold,
let me
hold, wait, wait,
finish.
Gage, wait, hold. Sister George, you keep alluding that
Sir
she's
Tyson
still
wasn't
able to
finished.
get dick. I
I
just said
wasn't
we
finished,
not
but
giving
that's
her
Wasn't
no dick.
finished,
Mel.
We're
man. Sir
taking the
Tyson
dick
wasn't
Mel,
away
finished.
from
let
her.
Sir
Sir
Tice,
Trice finish. Let
go
him
ahead.
finish.
Sir
Let
Tyson
Sir
finished.
Trice finish.
Yeah.
Man, I forgot my point. Thanks, all. And Mel's cool. Mel's cool. I'll just say this. And to your point, Sister George, you made another point about this whatever website or Instagram page you go to. It is baffling to me that and GC, shout out to you for doing this. I love when you show on your show those old you kind of juxtapose the 70s and 80s women, and then you kind of compare them now. You'll show like a Soul Train or how those women looked and how beautiful they were in comparison to now.
Mhm.
And isn't it funny how when black people had less access to or less access and less adherence to mass media,
Yeah.
how we tended to look like ourselves? You know, you would go to different regions. I'm a little GC Complex and I are probably around the same age.
Mhm.
So
40s. Yeah.
and I just heard some. I just heard some feedback there that kind of threw me off. But what I'm getting at is, we're probably old enough to remember when we would travel as kids to different regions. The girls were wearing this kind of hairstyle, and we're like, "Whoa, what the hell is this?" You know, because they were around their culture and doing whatever it was that they did amongst their group. Whereas now, it's like people the number one problem is people are getting their culture from this mass media, but then wonder why they effed up in the head in this and chasing these things. And it kills me when I see this express called black love. It's like, no, this is this black consumerism getting you to design to buy or to buy products to look like you don't look. And who cares if they're getting married out there too. There are a small fraction of people who are showcasing their things. I can show you the flip side of it. People who go into their traditional culture, whatever that may be, that just so happen to be black, that are following these type of traditions. So the problem is, and by the way, look at all the examples you guys named. You named, I think 99% of them were entertainers. What was it? Kelly Rowland, Beyonce. Why the hell? Okay. I'm sorry. Michelle Obama isn't an entertainer. Okay, my bad. But the fact that she's not the only person of an accomplished black woman that you can look up to or you can expose your kids to, and that's part of the problem. So that's what I had to add.
So let me get in here real quickly.
I agree with the problem as you stated it. It is it's basically called product placement. Like it's not a direct advertisement like commercials. However, like if Superman is thrown into a billboard, that billboard just so happens to be for Coca-Cola, then there's
purposeful product placement, as you said it. I didn't interrupt you, but yeah, I studied that exactly. Go ahead, bro.
Exactly. So it's product placement. So it's no coincidence that that every time you see a black woman who's paid to be on print, she's going to have certain products. In addition to the wedding dress, she's also going to have hair because the product that they're selling is the process in which she receives this hair. So that is advertisement for the chemicals or the I don't know which one to call it, not just the chemicals, but the hair itself. It's advertising for that. It's subliminal advertising, and it's reaching black women. So after
real quick, briefly, just to add to this, I just want to know because you'll love this historical fact. I was reading about John H. Johnson. If you guys aren't familiar, he's the guy who founded Ebony. One of his
man got in civilization. Yeah, go ahead.
Yep. One of his primary things of putting out Ebony, I mean, what he tells you is I wanted to get the black image out of whatever and all this, but it was really to sell his products and the products of other businesses. And then as the things happened in the 70s, when they started accepting money from these other air quotes white advertisers, people were like, I think we're going to be compromised. But I'm just tying into what your point is, GC. Go ahead.
No, exactly. So and they were, and as a result, we have this hair thing. Now there is a lot of solutions to this. One of which is to look past the adverts on Wedding on Point and things like that, and actually listen to the men, not what the media. Listen to the men, not the media. That's one solution. There's actually a lot of solutions, psychological, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I think the last solution is for black people to stop fucking each other. That would be
take a moratorium on sex.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of like, as far as bad ideas go, that one is pretty.
I mean, it's
bad.
Easy
but once again, even after that, you're still dealing with the mindset. So basically, take alcoholism for example. Let's use this analogy, right? Take alcoholism for example. So you have a person who is an alcoholic. Or actually, let's take that back. You have a person who's not an alcoholic, but they have friends and family members who are alcoholics, right?
Right.
Now, this person, when talking about the solution to the problem, they would say, the liquor store should just stop selling alcohol to alcoholics.
Yeah.
Like, excuse me? Like, they should not benefit themselves from the self-destruction of others. Instead of for the alcoholic themselves not self-destroying. Y'all see the logical fallacy with that.
Yeah, and I think the biggest
and you also see
absolutely.
You also see the propensity to blame others for your psychological issues.
That's not blaming others for your psychological issues, but if we're being honest,
the Chinese should stop opening up wig
let me say this.
Mm-hmm.
If you're dealing with a person that's dealing with alcoholism, if you're dealing with a person that's dealing with alcoholism, and this person is dealing with that issue, and you're a person that's not an alcoholic, you don't really drink, you don't really enjoy alcohol, you're not going to go pop open a beer with the alcoholic. You're not an alcoholic, you don't drink, you're not going your solution isn't going to be to drink with the person if that's not what you do, if that's not something that you partake in. And so I do think that two things can be true at the
I don't
same
understand
time.
that connection, Miss Sister George. Can
Well,
you like?
I'm gonna
It's
tie
not
it in.
meant to be
I'm
understood.
gonna
Yeah.
tie it in. So if you have a guy that doesn't drink and you have a group of alcoholics, of course the solution isn't going to be to tell the store to stop selling alcohol. The solution would be to tell the person to stop drinking. But have you ever told a drug addict to stop doing drugs?
Yes.
What happened right after you told them to stop doing drugs? Did they stop?
No,
You
they
know what's
continue to use drugs.
even harder, Sister George? Convince a liquor store owner to get out of the business. You know,
Yeah.
of all the money that he
Yeah.
loses.
Exactly. So
Shifting the analogy.
what we understand from that analogy, you can scream, stop drinking, stop doing drugs all you want. Does that stop the person if they don't want to?
Yeah,
No,
let me get in here real
get
quickly.
I get what you're saying. So, but
panel.
it is the person's responsibility
Poor
to
Arkansas.
get them to stop drinking, not the stores.
Absolutely. And I'm
So,
never going to agree with
but your
that
statement
point.
earlier takes the responsibility away from the person and puts it on the men that fucks them.
Well,
It's not our responsibility to get the fake hair out these chicks.
This is what I'm saying to you, though. If you have a person with a problem, you have a problem with the person drinking. You have a problem with the person who wears weave. You have the problem with that. They don't see that as an issue for themselves. And what I kind of get where you're saying about them recognizing their own issues, but most people won't self-correct until they actually hit rock bottom.
Or Sister
And
George, we
so
just don't shop at that liquor store, right?
yeah, I offered that solution too. And what I was told was, well, they could still have a certain type of liquor that they can have some. I may not like Hennessy, but I still know that it'll get me drunk, so I'm still gonna drink it. That's
But I'm saying there's other liquor stores that sell liquor that sells wines that I like.
No, we're mixing the metaphor. I mean,
wouldn't even use that as
Hey, hold on. Hey, can we?
Let me chime in, yo.
My message has been from day one. My message has not wavered, has not changed. If you're not getting the
hasn't
things,
evolved.
if you're not getting the things that you want from a woman, if that woman is unsatisfactory to you, then of course do what you're gonna do with them. But I wouldn't suggest being with them in committed relationships. Leave.
We weren't talking about being with them or committed relationships. Now, were we?
You're talking about sexing them, and
No,
I'm saying
we
if it's
Yeah.
that
So
unsatisfactory
just
to you,
just
then
to be
don't deal
clear,
with them because they're not going to do anything.
so well, let's not shift the goalposts. We weren't talking about being with them or relationships.
Yeah, we said take the dick away, leave.
Of course, it's always dick.
Take your dick with
That's what
you.
we were talking about. That's not what we.
That's
Yeah,
why I was saying earlier. Yeah,
but,
don't give her no D.
Hey,
Don't
yo,
give her no
hey,
D. Don't give
hey,
her no
let-
D.
Well,
Exactly.
when you guys
Don't
get a
give her.
chance, smooth and have nothing to say.
Okay,
He's falling
attention.
Yeah.
So can I get his?
Thank you, Melody.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I just wanted to say real quick, hey man. First of all, StreamYards is straight up ass crack, man. This shit is the connection is horrible when it comes to this.
It's that
But
next thing you
anyway,
got, bro.
Mine
nigga, I
too.
got Virgin. I said Virgin. I got Verizon, bro. Like Verizon's meant to
You
be
gotta
this
clear up. You gotta
top
clear up
of the
storage
line
space on your
shit.
phone. You gotta clear up storage space on your phone because it runs on the
You know-
cloud. So you need memory and storage space on your phone.
Okay, that means I need a new phone. I got one of these budget ass smartphones and shit.
Well, there you
So I
go.
guess I think that
He got a T-Mobile sidekick.
I got the answers to all my problems.
Go ahead, Smooth. Go ahead.
Now, but I just wanted to say real quick, GC and Solomon, like I feel maybe it would be cool if y'all would think of settling your differences maybe offline instead of on the panel, because when y'all on the panel and stuff, sometimes you might have this whole GC is expressing big dick energy, pause, and then Sister
pause,
George is like, oh, you ain't
Pause,
about to
B.
tell me shit.
nigga. Where's
You
my
ain't about to
Mario
tell me
keys?
shit and all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
Yo,
it can be a lot of that going on. And I would have said that maybe you two might want to talk offline,
hey,
and so y'all
I'll
could really
mediate. I'll
That's what
hash
I
it
mediate because
out.
the
said,
tension is
Smooth.
stiff.
And no,
Hey,
no,
yo,
no
yo, you're
mediators,
interrupting.
no mediators,
Oh,
just the two
Let
of
them
them.
settle it. Let them
all right.
settle it.
Just settle it amongst
You
them.
got
Because I think y'all are actually a good tag team, especially because you
it.
guys always have opposing views and stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't think that it should get to the point where it's like, IGC, don't ever come to the freaking breakdown no more and all of
Yeah.
that stuff. So
I
if
like
y'all
both of y'all.
could just
Right.
put the pettiness aside, and y'all just settle it behind the scenes. That's one. Two.
Mhm.
Now I heard when Sister George was talking about fucking Serena Williams' ugly ass. You know what I'm
Come
saying?
on, man.
And all of that stuff. See, Serena and all that shit never had a problem getting dudes and all that stuff, right? And when she started putting them hair hats on, she looked worse than she looked before. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? Them chicks was always ugly to me anyway. And it's not because they were dark skinned and all of that shit. Like, I've been, dating dark skin for the majority of my life and all that stuff. It's not even about that, really. You understand me? It's just that if you ugly, it don't matter if you have your
She look like her
natural or
daddy,
if you
Smooth. Tell
have
the
your
truth.
yes, she looks like a daddy. You understand me? So I mean, India Ari, when she just came out, I was fucking in love with India Ari. You
Mhm.
understand me? So it's really not that whole thing about, oh yeah, black men were clowning her that she looked like a monkey. Well, she did look like a monkey, and what?
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying? Because black men weren't the only ones saying that. I think it's not fair. It's not fair that when black men are starting to get criticisms about shit, like, oh yeah, look at what y'all said, and y'all diminished her self
Smooth,
confidence, and it's because of
smooth.
what black
It's
men
smooth.
said.
If you have a whole group of people, if you have a bunch of people telling you that you're ugly, you're great
Mm-hmm.
at tennis, but you're an ugly motherfucker, bitch. You is ugly as fuck. You ugly as shit. You ugly,
Uh-huh.
ugly, 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 ugly. You the ugliest bitch I ever seen. You monkey looking bitch. You ain't shit,
And
bitch,
Uh-huh.
because you're ugly.
and
Uh-huh.
And then she starts to go forth with enhancements of things that have seemingly worked for other women, and then she's able to get all the dick and attention she wants. It's still a reinforcement, and I'm saying, when people were saying that she was ugly, the only thing that people complimented on her on was her ability to play tennis. Nobody was saying what a beautiful child Serena was, or how nice her
because
hair
many
was,
people
or
don't
Because
think
she
that she
wasn't a
is.
beautiful
yeah. And
child.
so
Sister
what I'm saying is, we still, the only positive attribute that we focused on was her ability to play tennis, not anything that was
She's the
of
tennis player.
value to men.
She
Yeah, but
thank you,
Yeah,
but
Complex.
but
let me finish
Sister
my point.
George.
It wasn't on the thing that would
So
be
so
of
Sister
value
George,
Exactly.
to
are you
men,
saying
She's a tennis player.
which
Wait,
we
hey,
were
y'all
interested
about
in.
to hop in on this shit. I wasn't even done with what I was saying.
all right, my bad.
Look,
Yeah.
You want to talk about me interrupting and stuff.
but Sister George, you see, this is a little unfair, because if we just give her props for playing tennis, that's what the fuck she does. You
Oh,
understand me? In the looks department and beauty department, you keep her the fuck out of that. That doesn't mean that I'm going to say the same shit about Candace
Thank
Parker or
you, bro.
something. You
Yeah, but
understand me?
what about ugly children? What about, and so you
Yeah,
get
what
back to,
about ugly children?
yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
so then you get back to ugly children. And what makes an ugly child go out to do things to themselves? What makes them go out and do things to feel like they're enhancing themselves when everybody feels like they're ugly? What if everybody feels
What
like
makes
they're
them?
ugly?
Why are you looking at all in just negative?
That's down to them
Right.
damn parents, to what they tell them,
Right.
because the
No,
world will
ma'am.
let you know
It,
Thank you,
that
bro.
you're
the
ugly.
parents can tell you, your parents can sit here and tell you that you are a beauty queen, but society lets your ass know exactly who
And
you
why
are.
do you
Don't tell
believe
them that they're a
everything
beauty
Exactly.
negative
You know
queen.
came?
what? You can
You
be
don't. You
born
don't. You
five
don't. You
foot
don't tell them
three
that they're a
and
beauty
you
queen.
never
one
make
at
it
a
in the
time,
NBA,
y'all.
but you always wanted to play in the NBA player. The world will let you know, nah, nigga, you too damn short.
Right.
And
Okay,
what?
so then if she's being told that she's ugly, and she's been told that she's ugly from a young age, what do you
Hmm.
think that does to a person
Jesus.
psychologically? When you tell niggas that they ain't shit, they ain't good enough, they fucked up, they stupid, they're criminals, what do you think that does to a child psychologically when you're
Many of them
telling them?
defy the
I mean,
Let me
odds,
in
finish
order
my
for
Thank
that,
you,
point.
sir.
and,
Sorry.
What do you think
and,
that
and,
does
and
to a
if
Yeah,
the
but
child?
you could
child is
say
not a
that to
criminal,
One
everything.
at a
let me
time,
answer.
y'all.
Yeah,
One at a
and
time.
Let me answer.
what
If
I'm
the child is
saying
not a
is,
if the child is not a criminal, then it's a false equivalency.
okay,
However,
so take the criminality out of it. But if you're
okay.
telling a little boy, um, and like I said, it's a big lack of parenting. But then if they go out into society and they recognize that they aren't the most beautiful, they aren't the finest. So she works out. She's still told she's ugly. She can get dick, but attention may not be that great. She will start to do things to enhance herself. A man will
no, she
train.
will not.
Yes,
Why
she
are you
will.
making? No, she will not. Why are you adding these
You know
absolutes
what? You know
to
what? You know what?
Yeah,
everything?
Sister George,
it's
based off
second to
of
that.
that, I should be bleaching my skin right now. I grew up
Right.
in a predominantly
Yeah.
white country, and I was
Okay,
called nigger every day in
so
elementary
what
school.
most men do,
Damn, what school you went to?
so I'll give you a prime
Oh shit.
example
I
of
went to
men
school in
having hair.
Austria in the 90s. Shit
Austria.
was racist as hell.
Let me say
One at,
this.
yeah,
So
one at
what
a time.
most men do, let's say, with black men and haircuts, a lot of black men would like to wear their hair, at a certain length, right? A
Yeah.
lot of black
What?
men actually would like to
Really?
wear their hair in braids or
Black
dreads or
men do it
something.
too.
That's not
Uh,
the point that I'm making. The
Hold
It
on,
point
y'all.
is,
is.
Hold on, y'all.
people,
Let her finish,
Let her
y'all.
finish. Let her finish.
Mhm.
the point that I'm making is people will do things to fit in into society better. They're going to do the things that's going to get them the most positive result. And
Mhm.
so
Okay.
if a woman feels like she's enhancing herself and that's getting her a positive result, it
Mhm.
may be a negative outcome, but it's a positive result in the short term, then that's
Mhm.
probably what she's going to do to get
In a
more of
short
those
section.
results.
Let
That's
me get
all I'm
back on
saying.
message real
Well,
quick.
think about IG
Let me.
models. They
One of
do
you
that all the
guys,
time.
this is easy to
But
counter, but
but
I
the
love it.
problem with that, Sister
Yeah,
George, is that
man.
they always want to blame the men for being the reason why she's
Yeah, we
doing
went
all
down
these
that road.
enhancements.
Nobody's
Yeah.
going.
Let
I
me.
said it from the
Okay.
start that it is a psychological issue that she is not going to correct.
Okay,
And
let
if
Art speak to
you
that.
are still choosing to deal with this woman with a psychological issue that she is not going to correct, then that would be your
Oof.
responsibility at that point because she is not going to do anything to change.
No, it's
That
not.
Okay.
becomes on you.
It,
Point
it's
Let
blank.
Art.
really
Let
not.
me. Let me bring out the
It's
bigger
really
picture.
not my
Wait.
responsibility. Well, right quick. If I'm fucking somebody, how's it my responsibility to help her psychologicals?
It's your
We
responsibility
keep.
because you're
This is a
doing
rhetorical.
something.
Wow.
Man, you
If
guys, I've
you're
been waiting
having
30
sex with
minutes.
Hold on, let her
somebody that
finish. Wait,
Art.
hold on. Hold on, y'all.
if you're having sex with somebody that you are deciding that you don't like, you don't want to deal with,
Well, I
you
like her enough
have
to have sex with her. That's it.
That's
a
it.
okay.
How's it my
So
responsibility to take care of her psychologicals?
it's not your responsibility, and I keep going back to it's on her to change. But if she is still getting something out of the deal, it does not give her an incentive
Okay.
to
Art.
change.
Art.
Okay,
Quit
then like I
blaming
said,
her.
take away the men. Period. All of us go away,
Wow,
leave
I'm
her alone
about to
on her own
leave,
island,
man.
We'll
and
get back
she's
to
fine.
Well,
this.
I
I
think
have a.
at some point she's gonna get tired of just getting nutted in the face.
Mel,
Wait.
enjoy
This
yourself
was
on that
this was an
island.
this.
Enjoy
Yeah. This
yourself
is an
on No
extension
Pussy
from.
Island.
This was this was an
However,
Melody,
extension
thank
from
the
you
Art's
rest
so
of
much
Huh?
us,
for
to
having
go back to
me.
a
I
point.
gotta go. I appreciate the conversation though,
Yeah,
but thank you.
you cut the meat,
Actually,
bro.
Nah,
I hear
Sister George,
everything she's
stay
trying to
on. I still
say.
wanted to say something. God
GC,
damn.
was that a?
Um,
I was
Jesus
saying
actually, I
Christ,
heard.
man.
take
Oh
away,
man, this
take
is.
put her on her own island. I didn't say we
Oh
go to
God.
Ugh.
her.
Okay,
Put her
because
on
I
her
got to
own
get out
island
of
and
here,
leave her
y'all. I've
alone.
been waiting patiently.
Oh shit.
I think the problem that I mean, well, the things that we're not y'all keep taking it off the table,
Yeah,
and I and that the only way that Sister George can see it is in relationships, while other women will see things different,
right.
and the things that we supposed to well we need to address. Well, the thing that she kept contributing in the conversation was validation, and the other thing that we have to look at is attitude. The things that we all have in common that we don't like about talking about the counterpart is the attitude. So when they wear these different hairstyles, especially with the weaves, they're a totally different person than who they naturally are.
Also.
So they give them these I mean, either they're going to get the confidence or it gives them a license to disrespect people in the
Gino, false sense of
workplace,
confidence.
at the schools, in the circles, hell, even in the family. The fact that you got something on your head that's not yours gives you the license to fuck with you at the DMV. The fact that your weave is not right or is not the way you want it, you still have attitude with people at the restaurant. It ain't just relationships. It's all facets.
Thank you.
And so, and
Can
it's
I,
the
can I,
thing is that when you start addressing it, we got to get away from that relationship. That's obvious. 90. What did
Man,
we see yesterday? We said yesterday that 90% of men are not going for it, and 70% of the sisters are wearing weaves. We established that yesterday. Now, I mean, we're going to get we as far as I keep talking about the girls growing up, because if 70% women are wearing this, most likely the cycle is going to repeat it with the cycle is going to be repeated with the girls. The
Thank you.
damn near probably the only way that you
But
can
maybe
avoid this
not.
is to be a Amish or be somewhere in the wilderness away from this,
Nah.
because the thing, brother, young man, let the older man speak, fam. So what I'm trying to tell you, dude, because I know y'all get comfortable around me, but y'all have to, give me my little expertise here. The problem is that the big picture is everywhere you go is going to be in your face. And yes, us as men, we give our male, our male advice and our observation, but we can only do so much because we got men issues to take care of. We have things we still trying to work through this system that we complain about while other people are denying it. But in the meantime, we get home or we get around our women, I think it would work out better if they are themselves rather than wearing something to try to make them an altered person. It makes things a lot harder when you're with your woman. So it ain't about just not women. It's not just only women as far as relationship, but just the women that you work with, that you are hanging around with, that you're around. That stuff really affects us as a people. And that's it. That's all I had to say.
hey,
Well,
Good
no,
stuff.
that's a good
I just
point.
want to
Go ahead.
thank you, Sir Tice. I know you're on the panel for the Cash App donation. You said thanks for letting you up. You're welcome, love. All right, go ahead.
Oh, appreciate that, and thank you. Complex or GC? I think it was Complex. It seemed like you and I were trying to say the same thing, so I'll
Yeah, yeah.
defer to
No, I want
you. So,
you.
would you? You can go ahead and say
Yeah,
it.
go ahead, man. I want you to finish your point. No, no, go ahead, dude.
Well,
Go ahead.
well, damn it, I've since
all right,
forgotten it.
I'll
Go
finish.
ahead,
We
GC.
kind of got
I'll,
we got
I'll
away
finish.
from it.
No,
Which was the
I'll
whole
finish it
intention.
because it
I'm gonna try
includes.
to. I'll try to recall it, bro.
Well, hello, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah, we hear
GC.
you.
Yeah.
We heard.
Okay. So I'll finish it. So, I'll address a couple of things. After I address art, I'll address smooth, and then just to the core topic at hand. Okay. So, art, I think that there's a possibility that there may be like a chicken and egg issue with them. I think that art may be under the impression that they put the hair on and they become crazy. And it also could be argued that they are crazy. That's why they put the hair on. Now, let's just say that the former is true, that they're crazy because of the hair. And just like Green Lantern without the ring, once it's off, the power is gone. That's a possibility. So if you walk up from a black woman to a black woman from behind and you snatch her wig off, she becomes normal. That would be ideal. However, I think that they put the wig on because they're crazy, meaning that even if they take it off, they will still continue to be a crazy ass chick without a wig. Now, which goes into what I was saying before. Even if you take the dick away and they take the wig off just to get dick, they will still be crazy as shit. So, and you will be with less pussy, So let's not entertain that notion. Now, as far as what you were saying, Smooth, you were saying that we should talk behind the scenes. Actually, I did suggest that in Art's chat room yesterday. So she said, we should talk about this, and like, okay, email me. Now, I didn't receive an email. What I did get was her coming on Melody's panel this morning, and she's asking about me. That's what I did get, but still waiting on the email. And what was the other thing I was saying? Oh, yeah. But no, the root of the issue is, if you stop dicking them, they will behave. It's like, do you want a woman who behaves under that circumstance? Like, don't you want a woman with the ability to self-correct?
Well, that's what I was trying to say also too.
No, every time you say that's what I was trying to say, just deny them dick. Please stop saying that.
Just take away the dick. Leave them alone. That's what I'm trying to. Let me finish. Let me finish.
That's not possible, bro.
Leave them alone. Stop showing attention. Yes. That's not possible. Leave them alone. Take the men away from her. Okay. And she's still a fucked up person. So now it's up to the women to correct her and herself.
It's up to them whether they get the dick or not.
Yeah, they're independent.
In order for her to get this, she has to change her attitude, right? So we're not giving her no dick. We're not giving no validation.
It's been a while.
Taking us away from her. So now it's up to her to fix herself.
Got a word
in. She realizes she's not getting the male attention at all, period, because of fucked up attitude. So now it's up to her and her sister circle to fix
you guys just see
that's not gonna happen. Leave her alone. Let her be in live away somewhere.
Yeah.
Point blank.
Yeah, bro.
Then we won't be complaining so much because we don't have to deal with her.
We're not talking about all that.
Okay, well, Mel, I would like to thank you for your insightful and novel idea. Thank you. All right.
Oh, fuck you, bitch.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, whatever, bitch.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, shit.
Y'all are nuts.
I'm crying like
You guys just
bitch.
saw my messed up braids on camera. Sorry.
You good?
Tried to take
Ron,
them
No,
off.
reel that back one time.
No,
Y'all gotta
thank
chill,
you.
man.
Nah, fuck that. You want to be an asshole and shit like that for real? And I wasn't even dissing like
I'm
that.
playing with you, Mel.
Fuck,
Melody.
fuck that shit, man.
Alright.
I ain't gonna see
Yeah,
another side
okay.
of
Yo,
it.
so check this out.
The trick ass motherfucker.
We've been going this whole entire morning with the whole thing. So I'm a little bit stuck, guys. Help me out. So are we proposing the idea that regardless of what her attitude is, she's still gonna be crazy as shit, whether she has a weave or not? Is that one of the things that we concluded?
I think that might be a possibility. I also think that she would still be crazy whether she gets dick or not.
Right. Now, what is the conflict? What is the conflict with the fight or flight mentality that's been mentioned earlier with the idea that I proposed, that the fact of the matter that if you do not pay them attention, you just leave them alone, they would have to be forced to deal with women in their camp in order to change their attitude. Because if we already agree, if we already agree that they're not going to listen to black men in general, they're going to have to come into a competitive nature in order to attract the men that they want in general. So at the end of the day, it's going to have to come down to them being competitive amongst themselves. If they can't even agree with the men that are closest to them, and then and even if they want to search for Brad or whatever nation, just focusing on this now, they still have to compete. So at the end of the day, if you strip that, the ones that's closest to them that's saying, yo, not the weaves, not the attitude, blase, blase, blah, it's still, they're going to be like, okay, well, I don't want to listen to this Negro. So who else do I have? Because if the white men ain't going to check for me or other nation of men ain't going to check for me,
can I come after Bronzebird?
Who do I have to go to in order to get the man that I want? Then they're going to have to look at the women. And if the women is saying the same thing, if they're smart enough, they're going to look at the women who's actually trying to coach them on becoming a better woman. Weave or not.
Exactly,
you know
so you know what I was
so
saying.
that's why I'm a little bit confused, because it's like in my decision, I'm like, bro, I gave up Keisha already. I want the Kiana. So all this stuff about what Keisha's doing, I don't give a fuck what Keisha is saying.
Kiana got the weave under the head, right, Bronzebird?
Nigga, no, she don't. You got the little short fro and it's curly as fuck. It's 4B, my nigga. 4C. Okay? That's the Kiana. You understand me?
I'm joking.
So
Bronzebird, the topic really isn't black men getting what they want. The topic is really solving the psychological issues revolved around black women's hair. The solution,
wait, but hold on. Like GC, you are interrupting me while I'm speaking.
Can I go after y'all?
After
Bronzebird or whoever.
One at a time, y'all. One at a time.
Let me finish. Okay. GC, I understand what you're saying, but yet us as black men are still in some ways complaining about the issue. I'm sitting up there proposing, well, if it's a fight or flight cause, leave them broads alone. I just told y'all earlier I don't mess with city girls. So if city girls is the main basis for the women, I'm just using them as an example. If city girls is the main basis for the Keishas and this, that, and third that wear the weaves all the time and they have an attitude that comes after it, I'm like, screw these city girls. Because if they can't even rely, if they're relying with the low-hanging fruit of men, that's who they're going to attract. That doesn't say anything to me. And that's why I'm saying you push the narrative, because more than likely women are going to rely on men. As much as they say they're independent and all this other shit, that's not true. They rely on men for a whole bunch of things because they still need validation from men. They still need validation by men about something. So if I'm sitting up there saying I don't rock with Keishas, I rock with Kianas, and now when they start seeing that the high frequency man is not dealing with them, then that's going to force them to try to compete with Kiana's. So they have to learn Kiana's secret in order to be able to compete to get a man of a higher frequency and a higher value. That's the thing that I'm trying to. That's the thing that I'm trying to say, because all y'all brothers is high frequency. So y'all not going to deal with a Keisha. Y'all are more likely going to deal with a Kiana or deal with a woman that is the diaspora and all that other stuff. So Keisha's
But
not going
Keisha and
to
Kiana work in the same place though.
Okay, so let me respond.
Bronx, bro, I really
Let me
feel what you're
respond.
saying. Me and you is
Yeah.
What the hell?
Let me respond. Let me respond to what Bronsberg was saying. Once again, this is not an issue of black men getting what they want. Now, it became that because every topic about black women issues always point to what can black men change.
Black men.
And I think that we need to understand that. Also, furthermore, any forced change that you make due to attention deprivation or anything like that on Keisha will simply result in Keisha dressing and pretending to be Kiana for a short-term period of time. That's not what we want.
Keisha, Kiana, the same person. They from the hood.
One has a head wrap on and one has a weave on.
So once again, you'll get the Keisha mentality just in a Kiana wrapper, just so she can get the attention that you desire. But if we're looking,
hold on.
If we're once again, the passport doesn't solve. You see, I think we're losing sight of what the original topic was. The original topic was the that Art Nusal brought up was the psychological effect of the hair on black women, or the psychological reasons that black women seek the fake hair. You know,
and this is the root issue. Oh, sorry.
Wait, hold on. Let GC finish.
Yeah. So nothing really that black men will do will change that particular issue. It just won't. You know, it may mask it, but whatever was going on in their soul that led them to doing that to begin with is not on us. The onus is not on us. You know, it's their problem. They need to solve it. Until they do, you know, dick is what you get.
So GC, really quickly.
Keep giving her dick.
But why? Stop. Mel, stop with the dick. We done with the dick
Pause.
thing, okay? Pause, B. Real pause. No homo. Yeah, no homo. I had to get New York on it. So GC, what is the problem, or what is it that I propose about the individual mindset of you knowing what you want and not trying to go for that? And when I say Kiana's, I don't mean loosely it has to be natural hair. I mean it's the Kiana that might be the anomaly. You understand what I'm saying? So what is the problem with the individual mindset that I'm proposing? You don't even pay those chicks no mind.
I'm not saying that it's a problem. I'm saying that you're given a solution to a problem that we're not discussing right now. That's what I'm saying.
Well, why wouldn't it be discussed? I thought it's pretty much clear.
It's not. Once again, the problem is the psychological issue that doesn't change by taking away dick.
I didn't mention dick. No homo. I didn't mention dick. I'm saying the attitude that comes behind it.
Okay, well, let's put it like this. The attitude will still be there. The mentality that caused the attitude would still be there.
So what's the solution, GC? Is it not to ignore, or is it to just put up with it and just be fine with it?
GC, can I jump in after you once you answer, please?
I'm saying you ignore it, obviously.
Are those the only two options? I'm saying the solution isn't upon black men to solve. It's not our problem to solve.
Right.
Just like alcoholism isn't the solution isn't on the alcoholic, or excuse me, the liquor store. It's not. It's not our problem to solve. It's theirs. They dragged us in an attempt to blame for their psychological bullshit. That's what I'm saying.
Right. And I'm
But
agreeing with you,
that's
but
why we take
why am I
ourselves out the
what is wrong
equation.
with hold on, stop now. I'm sorry. But GC, this is where I'm getting confused because I'm offering the idea if we can agree that's their problem, what is our solution? Is our solution to ignore it and just be like, whatever, let them handle it and do their own business? Or do we want to sit back and say, well, this is their issue, this is their issue? I'm not understanding where you're going with it, bro. Because we're agreeing on the same thing.
For the most part, it is their issue. Now, I'm willing to join and help in their think tank in solving their issue, but don't say what I should do in order to solve your issue, especially when that thing involves taking away something that I like doing. Fuck that.
So,
can I say something real quick? Can I say something? And it's really sad that Sister George had to leave and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go too left field with this shit, but listen, I've been talking with women about their weave since fucking 2006 when I was in college, and always talk about, you rock natural this, natural that, because I was heavy in the hotel shit and all that, right? But my whole thing is that the reason why I'm mentioning this is that, fellas, seriously, this, yo, Mel, mute up. Seriously, fellas, this whole shit we're talking about the weave of the woman and her psychological issues. We've been talking about this shit for years. You understand me? We can't get stuck on a fucking reset like this. I mean, I understand it was on Art's panel and all that shit, and Art does, he's an older gentleman and all that stuff, and I can understand why these things are very important to him and all that. But what I'm trying to say is that, fellas, we've already made it clear enough that we would prefer the chick to rock natural or not put the hair hat on at least all the time. You can have it on sometimes, if you want to enhance your beauty, just like makeup. You understand me? We're not always going to like whatever the fuck you wear, but we still going to smash you in it. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? We've had this conversation about weave for decades now. You understand me? And I think it's pretty clear where black men stand on this shit. When people and women or whoever is coming to try and reset and talk about psychological nigga, we already talked about that. You understand me? We've given you all the accounts of slavery, all the accounts of Jim Crow, all the European beauty standards and shit, and how they all came from Africa and all that shit. We've talked about that. You understand me? So if the woman is still talking about freaking, oh yeah, my weave, this, my psychological issue, bitch, worry about that on your own. You already have my answer. I can't be talking about the same shit with you every single time. And this leads me to my next thing. However, what is definitely a topic of conversation that, you fellas may want to mentally massage on, and this is something that fellas have been mentioning a lot, but Zero, most recent one that mentioned it, is the fact that ladies such as Melody, such as Sister George, Concrete Rose, Topaz, who am I leaving? Jessica X and all of that stuff. I want to know, what is y'all gonna do to roll back on some of these fucking laws? Because from the looks of it, I'm sure y'all must have heard people talk about capital gains tax, this tax going up and all that shit. It's really going to fuck us in the long run. So what is y'all going to do to roll back some of these laws that y'all benefit from to our detriment and all that, and how, it's going to be better for, for men and all that stuff? I'm not saying y'all should talk about that shit now, but I'm just saying that, a conversation towards that, would be, I guess would be more appreciated and stuff, because, shit has been in the pipeline and it's coming down heavy. You understand me? And niggas say solution and shit, but, ain't no solution about That type of shit. You understand me? I mean, one is to leave and leave and leave and leave. But let's be honest. Most of these motherfuckers ain't got a passport. Most of these motherfuckers say they're gonna leave, and most of these motherfuckers gonna stay.
Good
So yeah,
point.
that's all I wanted to say. My bad,
Go
Phyllis.
ahead.
I'm gonna go on mute though.
I'm gonna
Can I go?
drop down. Actually, I'm gonna drop down.
See you later, Sir Tice.
Bye.
No,
Thanks
this
for
is
coming.
I
Bronsberg.
wasn't. I wasn't leaving. I was asking to
Oh,
Oh.
go.
Nah, it's Bronsberg. I'm gonna drop down.
Sister
I'm
They
George,
told
where
tripping.
you
him
going?
Brownsburg
Brownsburg.
was Sir Tice.
My
All
bad,
right,
man. My bad.
hey,
I got him confused. Brownsburg. Peace out.
That was a good one.
Well, wait,
I
hey,
think
where'd
it's
she
hey,
not
go?
with
thanks,
Sir
Brownsburg, for
Tice.
coming through.
Where'd she go?
Go ahead.
Gotcha.
Go ahead.
I was
What
actually
happened,
going to
Sister
address
George?
something that she said, so maybe this will make her come back up. And it's nothing negative or anything. Hey, thanks for letting me up, Melody. I'll just kind of close with this. You know, it's funny how I've always hated that you're a product of your environment notion. And that's kind of what Sister George was saying. Like, if you keep hearing this, what else are they supposed to believe? As if you only have one choice. You know, everybody on this panel, most of you brothers I'm familiar with, everybody on this panel grew up in some area where they were told, you know, either some variation of you ain't gonna be shit.
Yep.
And
Yep.
did you all actually say, damn, they keep telling me I ain't gonna be shit. Let me
But
just stop and just chill with them. Or you like, nah, fuck that. I don't have to believe anything that they say, whatever. Now I get it. There's a
yeah.
difference between men and women, what have you, and how we interpret
Nature.
things from our peer groups. But at the same
Mhm.
time, if you're going to talk all this black girl magic and strong black woman shit, I would like to think that that's probably the most defiant thing you can be as far as being strong and like, nope, I'm not going to take in this negative messaging. Hey, if they call me ugly, so be it. I got a badass body or whatever, and I can hit this tennis ball or what have you, right? I'm not talking about Serena Williams. I'm just connecting some things, what have you. In other words, there's plenty of things that you can do for your confidence and your mentals that aren't reliant on validation, which I'm so goddamn sick of. And people talk about, well, if they just change the messaging, then or if they put more of us on TV, we would feel better about ourselves. Do you realize how weak as hell that make you look when you say that shit? So it's
Yeah.
basically someone else controls your emotions. And with that, it's lunchtime. Thanks again, Miss Mel. I'll try to come up more frequently. Y'all have a good afternoon.
Thanks for coming.
I think I
Bye.
think I think to Sir Tice's point, what I was trying to kind of level-headedly put out was essentially that men and women think differently. Men take very harsh criticism. We're designed to take we deal with a very hard world, and it's a man's responsibility to basically curate the environment to his advantage, right? But with that comes the consequences of doing so. So we're used to dealing with harsh circumstances. I mean, that's why we work often in construction. So when we talk and when you have women, and I'm not singling out Sister George, no, not at all, but in general, when women come up and say, certain things, they talk a liberal talking point, or just change the messaging. Well, men, especially black men, don't live in a world like that where we can just change the messaging and things will happen for us. So I think that's kind of the biggest reason why there's a miscommunication. Because for men, if for example, if I'm told that women don't want me because I'm ugly or I'm not 6 foot, which I can't change, or I don't make six figures or whatnot. My focus is to control the factors that I can change. Okay, I'll go out, study accounting or whatever, and I'll make six figures, right? I can't control my height, but I'll make the six figures. I'll do this. I'll take corrective actions. It's not a problem. But for a lot of women, they don't. I guess there's some sort of miscommunication there. I don't know. Go ahead. Oh, sorry
No,
about
I
that.
mean, yeah, no response. And
I just want to say thanks for the Cash App support, Game Changer. I appreciate you
no
always.
worries.
Thank you. Oh, somebody else coming up?
Okay, so I must have
Yeah,
got a bad
I
audio.
just wanted to make note of a comment that Sister George put in the chat. I think she was joking and all that stuff.
She said,
But again, and I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna hop off and let y'all have it, yo. You know, nothing against the fact that, we talk about this shit every now and again and all of that stuff. But for real, it's a lot, it's a lot bigger fish to fry. This whole shit with niggas is leaving and all of that stuff, um, it's still being perceived as, oh yeah, because dudes can't find the women they want, they're leaving. That is one aspect of it. But it's going to be a lot more motherfuckers leaving because of the direction that everything is going right now. So again, I'm going to ask, the pickneys in this space again, y'all, what y'all going to do, you know what I'm saying, to roll back some of this shit, or what is y'all going to do on the political level? And Melody, you need to kill that dog. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you
Like,
knew
for
my
real.
dog bit me. I'm sorry.
What is y'all going? What y'all going to do politically? You understand me? Like, how are y'all going to get some of these laws passed that will be in favor of the men? And who knows if that's even still necessary now or not? But that's a good discussion to have, because I really, really want to know what your thoughts are on that. You know what I'm saying?
But that's really up for us to do that. Not
you say
women.
what?
That's
What you
really
say?
for us. It's up for us to get laws passed in our favors. Not up to the women. That's
Who
up
do
to
you
us
mean?
to do
Who
that.
do you mean us?
Us
Mel?
men. That's up to us to get laws
It's
passed in
for
our
us men
favor.
to do what, Mel?
You said you asked her, a woman, to help us get laws passed in our favor. That's not up to them. That's up to us as men to
You
do
know
that.
they have 80% of the vote, though, Mel. So they do hold the power.
And you want to know why they have the power? Because they put their money and resources where it matters. We don't do that. That's the whole point. We have to start doing that.
Yo, nigga, are you Paco? Is that Paco I'm talking to right now?
No, this is Mel, nigga. Damn, fuck.
Yo,
overthinking, analyzing too much shit more than what it is. That's plain and simple. We're the main sources. We gotta fund our own shit.
Are you gonna ask the person in power
Why would you ask the
to
woman
change
to do
something,
for
or
us?
do you ask the powerless?
Ask the woman to do something for us. We have to do it for ourselves.
It's helmet time. I gotta go. Hey, Melody, thanks for having me up.
Even Mellow clearing out of here. Shoot.
Hey, yo, Gino, holla though.
All right, then, bro. Be safe, man.
Peace. Later, GC.
Peace.
I think Sister George responded to me. She said never said that, so I want to acknowledge that. I'm not trying to make a bad faith argument, so sorry about that. Yeah, wow, y'all crazy. Y'all are crazy. Game changer. You got some thoughts, bro?
Nah. I mean, because I gotta cover this again at in about 40 minutes. So I'm just exhausted by this topic altogether.
I think my point is I acknowledge Art Nostal's point to the whole psychological issues going to the next generation. I acknowledge where he's coming from, because Art Nostal is an older gentleman who's thinking in terms from I don't want to say a pro-black perspective, but I do want to say more of a racial integrity perspective, right? Let's go with that. And the unfortunate reality, though, is I'm more Darwinistic. My philosophy is, you know what? If a woman's not going to conform to a standard that I set, I just simply don't choose those women anymore. I don't negotiate. Like I was cracking a joke in the chat because somebody called me out because I said the 7 stages of grief, and the brother corrected me, and I was like, yeah, I sound like an idiot. I've been through the 5 stages of grief, right? So I went through the bargaining, I went through the complaining, I went through negotiating, all this stuff. I'm at acceptance. Like, fuck it, it is what it is. So, and I think, for black men, we should just I think brothers should just accept the fact that for the women who won't change, leave them out to where they're out. And the best thing you can only really do is to try to control your environment. If you do have children, is to try to control your environment to the best of your ability.
I agree.
But that's really all you can do. I mean, let them know that, hey, most of these people in society are on a degenerate frame, and you don't want to be like them. And, a worst case scenario, hey, if you go out and you are some goofy stuff, or you mutilate your hair or whatnot, then I'll cut you out the will or something like that. If you got to use those Debo measures, as we say, those extreme measures, do what you have to do to kind of conform your legacy to, hit your agenda. But you can't control. These women are independent. That's the thing. They're independent now. They've been independent for the past 6-7 decades, right? And I think at my point, I'm like, look, they're independent. Going to Game Changer's point, they do have to resolve certain situations. But to go to Sister George's point, she's saying that, well, we're still dicking them down. I would say, hey, men are men. If a chick comes through and she presents herself sexually, a chick is going to get used as in the way that she's presenting herself out to be. So, these chicks will be used sexually, but they won't get married. And I think to kind of close this out, we're at a point in human history in which men and women have never really had to deal with mass media. We haven't really evolved to address social media. We're still in a experimental phase, I guess you could say. Because at one point in time, part of the reason why the sisters back in the 50s and 40s were so attractive was because they had to compete with sisters in their local area. I mean, they couldn't get on Instagram and go get flown out to Dubai to get the porta potty running them or whatever the hell, right? And case in point, same for the men. We never lived in a society prior to now in which we had to compete with other men all over the world. So we haven't really evolved to meet those challenges.
Oh, okay, got it. I'm sorry, guys.
You good. You good. I'm pretty much done anyway.
Yeah,
Okay, I agree with you when you say the compete thing. The problem is that what are they competing for? Because listen, the women in that day were competing for the best man that they can get,
a husband
that
right?
was available to them.
Right.
If you're competing for dick, then you're gonna win. You know, like you're competing for a participation trophy. Every woman gets dick.
Well, that's what you get. Which goes back to my point. If she wants
So it's right quick. I mean, how ludicrous is it for them to say that, you know, once you stop fucking them, they won't get the validation when 100 women can fuck one man? So even if 99% of the men go into that philosophy, they would still just fuck that 1%. Yeah. It's retarded. What's like, huh? I mean, it's a ludicrous thing, but it wasn't meant to be a sound argument. It was meant to deflect the conversation to what can black men do. You see, this was a topic of black women and the psychological issues that they have revolved around black hair. The topic moved, and the majority of the energy was spent on what can black men do for black women.
There's nothing we can do. They're independent. I think that's my point.
Thank you. Now we can help them in their counsel. Yeah. However, the work is going to be yours.
I think to that point, it goes back to their body, their choice, right? And so to that point, you know, and I'll put myself out there, you know, that's why personally I don't complain on a personal level, but because I'm like, well, they are what they are, their body, their choice. But it's my right to pick who I wish to marry. That's kind of where I'm at. You know.
So Sister George says black men are the ones complaining. Yes, we make it known that we do not prefer this particular hairstyle. If you continue to do it because of your own psychological fixity, understand that you will remain in last place, but we'll still fuck you. Understand that. And it seems like you're comfortable with that because at least I get a dick. That's fine. Go for it.
Okay, well, I don't want to.
That doesn't solve your problem of the psychological issues that you have with hair. It doesn't.
Oh boy.
All right, so I just want to say thanks for the Cash App donation, Blue TV. I appreciate you. And for everybody here, he's new to the space. Subscribe to his channel.
Okay.
If you want to drop your channel, Blue, you can do that.
She's saying it's not her issue. Okay.
But
no,
yeah.
She's talking in the individual sense, but I'm saying it's a black woman issue. It's, you know, yeah.
I hope on the grand scheme of things, it shows that black men do care, and we really do want to marry. Well, at one point in time, we do want to marry Adol's sisters, or we did. Case in point, a lot of my SYSBM brothers, you know, a lot of us, we want to travel to other countries to deal with black women in other countries. I mean, nowadays, I deal with I prefer dark-skinned women. And recently, I was talking to a Jamaican woman, right? Dark skin, all that good stuff. So I think that demonstrates that black men, you know, we don't really, a lot of us don't subscribe to these colorist narratives at the very least. But there's still some sort of gap in the negotiation process. But I think I'm the one deflecting and derailing the topic now. So I don't want to go into a bad faith direction.
No worries. So I picked a movie for movie night. I'm talking to Zone about that right now. I'm gonna do Dead Presidents Thursday.
Okay, Dead Presidents.
Sounds good. Can't wait to see it. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna do final thoughts. I know Blue TV wanted me to tell y'all to subscribe, so make sure you guys subscribe to his channel. Blue, drop your channel in my chat, and
we're gonna start.
Huh?
Nothing.
Hold on. Yeah, hold on.
No, he wanted to talk, but I guess he got
that connection.
off. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I'll just wait for him to come back up before I end it. But Let's start with Gino. Gino, you have anything to say?
I'll keep it short. Like I said, I'm just gonna keep it simple with Darwinism. The sister George, she did bring it that women won't see. God damn, was that me doing the echo? Who that feedback? Mel, was that you?
Uh, who, Mel or Melody? Mel, is that
No,
you?
I think no, Mel down there. Is that you? Okay,
Yeah, they call
testing
me
one, two,
Mel.
three.
That's fine.
I'm good. I'm clear. Sister George brought up that she brought up okay, there's a feedback here, but I'm just gonna keep it going. That women won't see the effects until too late. And that's unfortunate, but I think on a Darwinistic or I guess black pill level, it kind of is what it is at this point. And unless the both of us are both our counterparts can see eye to eye, which I doubt will happen. Men are always going to be solution oriented creatures. I mean, even going back to the days of ancient Rome, when during the time of Augustus and the Nero, when the women didn't cooperate, the men checked out. It got so bad that men became unmarried. You know, that's why we were arguing that mixed how we've been here before. And they were shaming unmarried men. You couldn't sit at certain parts of games. You got taxed a certain way. There were some significant social and financial sanctions for being unmarried, but men just didn't care at that point. And we're back at this situation now. So men are solution oriented. If we got to go outside the empire grounds and go get a barbarian chick to conform to our ideals, we'll do that. But ultimately, a lot of people who are not going to see the effects until it's too late, and that's unfortunate, but that's just how evolution works. That's kind of where I'm at.
Thank you for that. How about you, Mel? You have anything to say on the topic?
I said what
Any
all I
final
gotta say.
thoughts?
I said what all I gotta say and everything. Motherfuckers just over analyze, overthinking shit too much. I said what I got to say. Thank you, Melanie.
Well, thank you for coming. How about you, GC?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I greatly appreciate your show. It was a surprise, but it was a pleasant surprise this morning.
Definitely. So, you're having a show today.
Yeah, I'm having a show in like 30 minutes. Yeah, so basically just covering the sisterhood and their tactics, because I haven't really gone over that in a while. And I'm going to use last night's show as an example of sisterhood deflection techniques. And so people can readily recognize it in conversation.
Perfect. Okay, so make sure you drop your channel as well, Game Changer.
Yes.
So if anybody's not subscribed, which I'm sure they are, but they can subscribe. And Baloo, I told you to
Yo,
drop your channel.
yeah, I dropped it. Salute to y'all. Make sure you
Salute.
follow, like Melanie Page, Game Changer, Mel, all y'all on the panel. Um, I couldn't really chime in too much on the show because I'm moving around, but I was listening a little bit. But I just want to salute to y'all and tell everybody make sure they subscribe to Blue TV.
Right. What's your channel about?
We just be covering everything right now. Trying to cover a lot on the stocks with the Dogecoin, focusing on that, and have people come on and just each one teach one. So that's what we're doing right now.
Okay, perfect. So make sure you
What you got going on today, Game Changer?
Well, again, I'm going to cover the sisterhood. So you're new to the space. The sisterhood is basically a individualized culture of Black women that work together in order to get certain benefits that's uniquely theirs from Black men. So check it out. Check it out, and I'll put the link in there. I'm looking for it now.
All right, definitely.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And Baloo, what do you have? What's your thoughts on this topic about Black women wearing weaves, and what's your thought on it?
I mean, I think I covered it pretty much how I felt about it in your last show, as far as it changes personality.
Right, that's what they were saying.
Yeah, it changes personality. So again, when you got personality change, you dealing with a different character. So that's to sum it up. I touched on it before, so that's pretty much how I feel about it.
Okay, perfect. So, well, thank you everybody for coming. This was a great show. Thank you, Sister George. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody for the donations. And if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you guys subscribe to me and like the stream on your way out. Thanks, guys. Bye.
All right.
All right, see
Cool.
y'all later.
Peace.
Peace.